with the Chicago Bulls worth $150 million. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Afternoon, the roads are looking pretty good for the run home today. Clearing up an earlier two-car crash at Elizabeth, Main North Road near Midway Road, but that's about it today. You shouldn't have too many hassles, which is good, isn't it? Do a few works to keep in mind. You'll find there's at Tennyson, at Military Road near Bournemouth Street, also Flinders Park, Holbrooks Road near Grange Road. She is a little busy at the moment. Grange Road at Tapley's Hill Road and Sluggish South Road at Tonsley. Cameras, Trimmer Parade, Seaton and Pym Street at Croydon Park. Want to feed the family for less? Try Porto's whole chicken with your choice of basting and a family chips. Just $19.95. Get yours now only at a Porto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or two and 15 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 16, partly cloudy Friday, also 16, then up to 19 on Saturday. At the moment, 15. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, a homeless man and his walker carried from an Adelaide hospital and left alone on a footpath. See the exclusive video. The senior police officer charged with abusing public office and assault, but still being paid by the force. The simple switch saving you hundreds on home insurance. And the Messiah's advice to Matthew Nix. 9 News, your news. 9 at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app.
On DAB Digital Radio.
And on 1395 AM.
This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
At 8 after 4, good afternoon on this Wednesday with a little bit of a difference. While the sporting world continues to turn, and we'll continue to cover all the latest as we do each and every night. We'll also spend some time today spotlighting a very important cause. It is World Suicide Prevention Day. With Timmy G on holidays as well, it's a warm welcome to Rowey and Campo.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. Yep, the Crows have held their main training session. They've picked their team, we're led to believe. I think the lessons have been learnt, so I'm calling it Redemption Day this Friday, Campo. Prove your worth day. Cannot bloody lose day. Cannot go out in straight sets day. As I welcome Carlton Premiership star Scotty Camporelli on the back of Timmy G. We've worn him out, Sam. You and I, probably more me. He's taking a well-earned break. And Campo is in the chair. Son, how are you?
Good. Big week, isn't it?
Oh, it's a massive week.
Like all those things you just said, you're sitting there going, geez, it's one of those ones that you just don't want to trip up again, do you? I mean, they did so much right, haven't they, for the majority of the year. And to
the thought of them losing, it's not entering my head. We can either be a chocolate this week or a boiled lolly.
Well, we got Rob on tonight, so I reckon they would have learned a lot.
Yeah, they will.
They will learn a lot. We'll get into that.
I'm always told it's never as good as it seems and it's never quite as bad as it seems. Well, it will be as bad as it seems if we lose Friday. But I'm quietly confident. I'm not going to make any outlandish statements. It is Redemption Day.
Hang on. You're not going to make any outlandish statements.
Hey, look, we are throwing and Bricky did a terrific job. It is World Suicide Prevention Day. Look, it's a significant day for all of us to acknowledge, if you like, the sad, tragic loss of life. Now, whether we can... I lost a young lad. I was in a bus and he was only... I've never ever told this story before, but just quickly, because it is worth talking. We were 15 years of age. I sat next to him. He handed me a book, had a tie knot, and I quickly looked at it because we did some sailing back then, and the next day he's hung himself. And that's never lost me. And I'm thinking, what could have I done then?
Yeah.
How could have I helped? The guilt that flooded us. The funeral was just tragic, and he was a beautiful, quiet kid. And in a little sleepy country town, and you didn't know. But now we do know, and we do know that you're only a phone call away from help. So if any of us are aware, and you can ask the question, are you okay, and all that sort of stuff, it's a great day to reminisce and think. And if you can save one life, now I'm not having any guilt that if I had said things differently, but we're more aware of it now.
Yeah, we are.
And we're talking, this was way back in the 70s.
Well, there's much better support mechanisms now, isn't there?
That's
We're much
exactly
more aware around, those issues that are having. I mean, 15 to 29-year-olds, I mean, that's the key category.
He was 14, his name was Anthony Maddox.
There you go.
And
they're young.
I've never
haven't
forgotten
even lived life
name.
yet.
Wouldn't even know.
Yep.
Wouldn't know what he doesn't know. And, when this come up, I thought, I've never told that story. It just and it wasn't even going to. It just come in my head. And I
Over
thought, well,
700,000 deaths a year.
it's wrong.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Well, it's the leading cause of death for people aged under 45, which is just an extraordinary statistic.
It is. And in a country like us, when you think there's everything to live for and there's all these pressures, it's a great acknowledgement. And to our station and to everyone, World Suicide Prevention Day. Timmy G's done an interview with Zane Kirkwood. We're going to play that. Don't miss it. I'd say don't miss it. And look, sport will continue. The lines will continue. We want you to call. We don't want to be morbid with all of this. It is a significant day.
Yes.
Yeah, well done. Last week, my dream final. This week, I just feel sick in the guts is how I'm feeling, Campo. I've lost a little bit of faith and belief.
Why?
Well, when you lose, you do.
Yeah, but it's something
Don't you?
Well, you learn more from your losses.
Do you?
Of course you do, because now they understand what the holes are.
Well, do they?
Well, and we've been talking a little bit during the year about, what can you take away from Adelaide? What are teams looking at? What are they scouting? Well, when you're playing against the top teams, that's what they do. Coaches take that stuff away. Look what Chris Scott did to Brisbane. Let's just take away what they're good at. So they've got to actually, reassess, move on, because it is. And I heard Matthew Nixon in his press conference. We spoke about it yesterday. Yeah. We'll get back on the horse, and we're back about process, about what we've been able to do for 23 weeks of the year.
With what's got us here.
What's got us here.
Exactly right. AFL media are all jumping off us. Gary Lyon's one of them. Have a listen.
I thought the 23 Collingwood players went in with a finals-like mentality that this is play for our lifetime. I reckon there were 4 for Adelaide. I don't reckon there were anywhere near enough Adelaide players that had a play for my life, most important thing I've ever done, ever, mentality. Now, first time playing finals for a lot of them, they will walk back going, well, this is why next week is so interesting for me on Friday night, is what you learn. I reckon Matthew Nix missed his mark. I don't think he coached in the manner. I don't think he was anywhere near the coach that he was, allowing the more thing to unfold in the manner that it did. I thought they were deferential. That is, they deferred to Collingwood. Oh, you blokes look like you're a bit hungrier than us, so we'll sit back. And I thought they were way too passive as a football club. I like Gary. That's a cutting statement. And there's not a lot of that I can argue with. And that's what gives me hope and faith. They're a proud group. Dixie's a proud man. Yep. Those players are proud, led by Dawson. I think it's been brutal this week with the feedback and about making it happen. I mean, he's right, isn't he? Well, he's right, isn't he?
Yeah, well, and ultimately, they're getting judged on one game, and it's an important game, isn't it? So that's why you get judged more harshly in those games than what you do in a round 20 game, competition. But
we did play differently, didn't we? We did hack it. We did try and get ground position.
They played differently on the basis of what Collingwood didn't allow them to do.
So it wasn't designed
I think
just hack it forward.
Well, I agree a little bit with Gary around how they set the game up.
Yep.
We spoke about that that yesterday, with, Michael Annie, playing forward rather than playing back after, those sort of things, what happened behind the ball, allowing Darcy Moore to intercept Mark, how that unfolded, some of those things. But they had players down on form. We spoke about a weight of numbers performance, and he was right. I named 4 yesterday.
He did.
And he mentioned it there.
Yep. Hawk defender Tom Barrass had this to say.
Bit of a focus against GWS that if we could keep him under the sort of 85-point mark, that we'd be able to win. And look, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Yeah, if you can play really well against their dangerous key forwards, you're going to stop a score source for them and go a long way to winning.
Yeah, Luke Hodge went on to say this. They simply couldn't handle the pressure. Have a listen.
What they do need to learn in a week, and look, they can do this. They've done it multiple times over the year in pressure situations. Just because it's a final, be calm with the ball. Do the simple things well, hit up your teammate, and with how bad they played for that game, with 6 minutes to go, they're only 17 points down.
So that gives you hope, doesn't it? If the Crows were down and just lost, well, they lost by 18 points. They didn't ever really look like they were in it, but there were chances to. Well, there's upside. I like upside.
Yeah, there's plenty of
blue
upside.
Skies.
Well, if you pretty much said that most of the Adelaide's better players, let's say their top 7 or 8 players, play above average or average games, which they didn't do on the weekend, they're right in it.
100%.
Like Phil Thorpe, hardly, he was okay. Tex was pretty good. Fogarty didn't touch it.
Dawson
was down on form. Saligo was down. You know, I don't think Keane and those guys bounced.
Miller didn't
bounce out of half-back.
All of that.
Cummings and Curtin didn't have big days on the wings. So there's plenty of upside to it. It's whether they can bounce and just let it go and just move on.
Yep. Tex Walker always has a good feel for the group, I think. I love how he talks on the M's. This morning he had this to say.
Yeah, and we've already spoken about the way we want to set up ahead of the ball, Roo, to combat that. So we're looking forward to another big opportunity because we're in this position where you get a second chance off the back of what you do throughout the year, and the boys have licked their wounds and we're ready to go. It's exciting. It's exactly where we want to be, and if we want to play grand final day, we're going to have to do it a little bit differently.
And they've been a really good team where they have stayed in the moment, stayed week by week, played their role, not deviated, and been at their best. And if they can do that again, that's the panacea right there.
Well, the only challenge,
he's spot on.
100% he is. But the only challenge I feel, in these, and I've been involved in it, is when you get that sort of kick in the backside and you go, geez, our pressure was down and whatever, there's a tendency for that to go to perhaps bubble overboard. And then what happens is you play against teams that are pretty good on the outside and all of a sudden you can get opened up because of the, we want to impact the contest. We want to be strong around the ball. We want to be the pressure team. We want to throw the first punch. So you can actually, there's still a balance in that. And that's very difficult from a coaching and a player perspective because you want to ramp it up. And, as you said, they got punched in the face with Collingwood's pressure in the first. So they'll be wanting to do that because they are the best pressure team all year. Adelaide, number one at it. So they'll be looking to do it. But can they do it in balance to make sure they get both facets of the game in control?
I want us to smack them in the gob first. I don't want to be smacked and then retaliate. I want us to smack them fair in the gob. Last time we played them, I think it was round 21. They were 5 goals, 2 to 1 point.
Yeah, it was ugly early.
Come on. But we won.
Yeah, we won.
Nah, well done. Have your say. Lines available, 8223 0000. The best news I heard late last night and now this morning was Ange Postecoglou has been signed by Premier League club Nottingham Forest.
It is a really outstanding opportunity. It's great that it has come so early in the season. There's only 3 games gone of the EPL, of course, so that gives him a chance to change the playing style, which you'll have to do. It's a club that's pushing the biggest clubs. It gives him an opportunity now to push again for that top 4 or 5 positions with Nottingham Forest, and that's a fantastic position to be in. It's pretty rare for a club of this stature and in this position to be available, that role to be available so early in the season.
Couple of big stories in that. This is Craig Foster. Nottingham have won 1, drawn 1 and lost 1. They sacked their coach after finishing 7th last year. We thought Ange was unlucky.
That's their best result.
He won a trophy. It was.
Best result in 30 years for Nottingham.
They're playing in the Europe League. Now, that's brutal.
It is brutal.
That is brutal.
I reckon we're the only sport that don't do it. All the other sports, like even in the NFL, the NBA, they don't care. They just cut them. And this is the challenge because they're privately owned. So the owner, he's a Greek businessman, wealthy. He's gone, no, I've had enough after 3 weeks. We don't see eye to eye. See you later.
No succession plans here. Have you ever heard the word succession in Premier League?
No.
Hey, dude, come and sit down. Where's your credit card? Where's your security key? Tell your story work.
Everything. See you later.
But well done to Ange. I hope he does so well there. I've now got a new team. And I learnt last night Nottingham Forest isn't from where Robin Hood was from. He was from Sherwood.
Yes.
And the boys from Nottingham were actually their enemies.
Okay. Didn't you? You haven't been reading up on your
No, I
novels.
haven't. And then I thought it was William Tell, whatever he was doing. Now, every caller here goes into the draw for our grand final package. That is tickets, accommodation, flights. You might even rub shoulders with, I don't know, the old Snoop Dogg. Well, he's going to be there, grand final day. The best weekend you will have. And simply by just calling this number, 8223 0000, get interactive. You go into the running and we just draw it straight out in a couple of weeks' time. Here's the topic today. Who's more confident that the Crows will make the prelim final against Geelong, in other words, win on Friday, and why? Or who thinks it's straight sets? Just a straight and why?
Yeah, a
What
little
are you
why.
more
Yeah, a little why.
We want a why.
Yeah, both ways.
And then I want you to shoot them down.
No, I won't be shooting you down.
No,
Everyone's
shoot the listeners down when they say straight sets.
No, well, they're entitled to their opinion.
Of course they are.
Well, you're straight on the standby list for that grand final package if you get to air. So there's only one way to do that. 8223 0000 is the number. Plus, another chance for you to win tickets to the semi-final. That very important game at Adelaide Oval on Friday night for the Crows and Hawks. Stay listening because Rowey will have some clues to just a drip feed throughout the program tonight.
Well, let's do one now. Straight off the bat, I'm a current player. So I'm in the team.
Current Crows player?
In the team.
There's a starting point. Scratch it down on your notepad, collect all the clues, and you'll have a good idea by the end of the show and your chance to win. Jimmy Bartell to join us tonight at 5. We'll have Riley O'Brien in the studio in about 10 minutes' time. Where are they now with a Hawthorn legend? Timmy G is going to catch up with Zane Kirkwood, as you mentioned earlier, Rowey, on World Suicide Prevention Day. And volleyballing legend Nat Cook is going to join us too. So there's lots to come, plus your calls, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Someone you know may be struggling with thoughts of suicide. A conversation could help them feel heard and supported. Start the Chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone might be going through a tough time. The training is not counselling, it's not complex, it's about compassion and starting the chat. Being there matters most. This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection and hope. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Hello, it's Timmy Ginniver here. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. Losing mates to suicide is the questions that don't stop. I keep asking myself, did I miss something? Was there a sign that I didn't see? I had a friend who always seemed like he was in control, had a great sense of humour, always had a funny story to tell, or laugh about life's little moments. I just didn't pick up on anything soon enough, signs that may have helped me just identify that something was wrong. The main one was he'd stopped coming to calendar events that we did every year. The shock of hearing that he passed absolutely stunned me. I just want to say this, check in on your mates and your family and encourage others to alert you too. If someone is struggling, and if you're the one struggling, please speak up. You're not alone, and a simple conversation can truly make a difference. Visit startthechat.com.au.
A moment ago, I shared that starting the chat can make a difference. Sometimes that difference begins with you. Start the Chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone may be struggling and gives you the confidence to reach out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the first step. This World Suicide Prevention Day, let's stand together and show up for each other. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 24 minutes after 4. You can watch on the Stillwell Hyundai live stream. Campo is sitting in for Timmy G, and we're taking your calls. Every caller that goes to air is on the standby list for flights, accommodation, and tickets as well for you and a mate to the 2025 Grand Final. So get involved in the show. Let's check your traffic first around Adelaide for Rossdale Homes. SA's most trusted with custom design, fixed pricing, and a total peace of mind because trust is a must.
At Warradala, crash Diagonal Road near Oaklands Road causing a few delays. Nowhere to crash there. Fullerton Road near Beulah Road. Slow for works at Door Park, Goodwood Road near Grange. Already getting busy South Road at Glandore. Cameras, Cudmore Terrace, Henley Beach and Anzac Highway, Glenorg North. Get the saving you really want with 3K off Ranger XLT Sport and Wild Track at participating Ford dealers. Only until September 30. Not available in conjunction with any other offer. Exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hello, Lukey at Craigmore.
Hello, Rowey. How are you?
Good, mate. What do you think?
Good. Straight bet.
Oh,
and why?
God.
Because Hawthorn, every loss close to a win. And they've only just lost so many games at Adelaide Oval. And I just think they're up and about. And I reckon they just got that bit extra, mate. Sorry. But, yeah, straight bet for the Crows.
Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you're wrong, Luke, but take your opinion. You go in the running for that grand final draw. Let's go to Edinburgh. Hello there, Phil.
How you going, Stephen? Now, did a little bit of research on Mr. Fogarty. He kicked 5 goals naught, 4 goals 3 times, 3 goals 4 times, 2 goals 5 times, 1 goal 7 times, 0 goals 5 times. I want a lift from Mr. Fogarty, please.
Yeah, he's
and
got
I'd
it
like
in
to
him.
see Worrell maybe go on the wing.
Nah, well, why would you move a potential All-Australian backman to a different position in a final?
I think Fogg will fire up this week.
He's a fierce competitor.
What they got to do though,
Thanks, Phil.
What they got to do though is isolate those defenders. They can't allow Sicily and Barras and Battle to come across and support. They've got to ahead of the ball, and we probably had a little bit of a pre with what Tex said around we learn our lesson, this is how we want to set the game up, blah, blah. I'd be staggered if they have an extra one behind the ball. And Rowey,
staggered.
You might have to pick me up off the floor on Friday night if that happens.
Well, I haven't had to do that, and I don't want to have to do it. And if you yell over my shoulder, I know it's wrong. Let's go to Gawler. Hello, Craig.
Yeah, hey, Campo, Rowey, how are you? Just a quick one. Straight sets. They're maybe risking a player that hasn't played for 8 weeks, and as you said, Campo, you learn from your losses, and I'm hoping the Hawks are learning from these Adelaide Oval losses and that last one they had.
Thanks, Craig. There's a couple of texts along this line. Don't get beaten by what you know. So if they reviewed well, they know exactly what not to do this week. So don't get beaten by that.
Well, and they've been able to review the 2 games against Hawthorn, and they would have reviewed what GWS, perhaps, what they did for that period. I mean, they kicked 7 straight, GWS. So
10 goals from stoppage.
So there's something in there.
There is, absolutely.
And we keep talking about the record at Adelaide Oval. Hawthorn have lost 6 of their last 7 at Adelaide Oval, just for those at home.
Hello, James at Wayville.
Good afternoon, guys. Look, sorry, I tried to get through Monday but couldn't, and I'm flogging a dead horse here, but just going back to the booing, if you people or the Crow supporters out there haven't read this article, it's very good. It gives a very even, balanced discussion about it, but it's called The Real Reason Footy Fans Were Booing Isaac Quaynor in Adelaide. It's on news.com, and it's written by Jay Bednall, but it's worth the read.
Okay.
Interestingly, Stephen, yesterday I think it was mentioned that Caroline Wilson brought you up in one of the evening television shows.
Oh, she's been doing it every day for the last week, James.
Well, I was going to say Saturday afternoon, I think it's 3AW, your sister station, whatever, she was actually playing quotes from you on the radio regarding the booing.
Yeah.
So she won't let it go.
Oh, she never does.
I've had to think about this, and what do the spectators do when things like when Keys gets that goal called a point or Draper falls on the ball? What do? Remain silent? Go tut-tut? They'll boo.
Of course they are.
I mean, I'm not a booer, but if I get riled up, I might actually throw a boo in here.
No, James, well said. Look. Whether it's unsavoury or not.
That's more the point, isn't it, around the scenario. It's not an umpiring decision, or not that that's okay, but it's a sensitive subject that probably didn't get handled that well.
But why do people like Caro and the old Scoop-de-Doo and the AFL think they can be the social police on all things football? Fair dinkum. Let the fan be the fan, I say. Let's go to Blakeview. Hello, Brad.
How you going, guys?
Good, mate.
I'm a bit nervous for Friday, but I'm pretty confident the boys are going to bounce back. I think Collingwood pressure was just outstanding, and we weren't up to it. But I feel like Rochelle coming in is a risk, but I feel like he's the one that could change something up forward.
Hope you're right. Do you agree, Campo?
Yeah.
Is it a risk worth taking? Risk v reward.
It is because you never know, don't you? So if they happen to go out and they don't get it done and they go and choose, we missed and we had 60 entries, but we couldn't find, that extra one or two goals.
Wouldn't it be nice if you had a small forward that's clever, all of that?
But, on the flip side, I'm a bit of a realist as well, around some of those things. And I've been burnt a couple of times over the journey around picking guys that are underdone. So
we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. I think they're going to play him. Hello, Chris.
G'day, lads. Yeah, it's interesting. I actually have a few dollars on the Crows in the Premiership, which I've had for about the last 10 weeks, so gamble responsibly. However, I think they're going to get down the straight sets.
Okay.
The reasons being, the last 4 weeks, it's been nothing but negative, and no matter how you try and shut that out, some of it gets through. You've got 3 key players who are under injury clouds, and they're key players, Dawson, Fogarty, and obviously Rochelle coming back from a knee injury. You've got a back line with Hawthorn that are all fit, so they catch up against the 3 tools. relatively well, probably as well as any other team in the comp.
Yep.
And for those reasons, and Hawthorn seeking redemption for last year, I think straight sets.
Okay. We've got Sue on the text line, the Unique Homestyle Food text line. Keep the calls coming in. Everyone that calls goes into the running for that grand final package. For goodness sake, stop saying straight sets, capital letters. They're not playing tennis. So silly, Sue, with a thumb down emoji. What else can we call it then? O2.
Good question.
What else can we call it?
Find a different way to say it. We can do that. 822
Bomb out.
Bomb out. Yep. All that sort of stuff.
Just on your stat, Tuggers.
Yep.
We've got one here from Bradley. Hawthorn has lost 8 out of 8 against GWS before last week.
Well, records are made to be broken.
I don't believe in that.
Hey. Qantas never crash.
Oh, wow. Good luck, Timmy, tonight. Hey, it's time for the 4:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A man's been arrested after ramming a police car and leading police on a chase through the northern suburbs. NAB has announced it's cutting 410 positions only a day after ANZ flagged 3,500 roles would go. The wraps have come off the iPhone 17 with 3 different versions. And Dockers midfielder Will Brodie has requested a trade to Port Adelaide. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Afternoon at Campbelltown, a crash along a northeast road near Gorge Road. Quite big delays through there. Also delays, another smash at Kent Town, Fullerton Road near Buell Road. Another smash at Warradale, Diagonal Road near Oaklands Road. Got works to look out for at Mile End, so Donald Bradford Drive near South Road and a camera Anzac Highway, Glenelg East. Discover amazing savings at Harbour Town's Get Outlet sale this Friday to Sunday, like 50% off store-wide at Tommy Hilfiger. Visit harbourtown.com.au to see sneak peek offers. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight and a shower or two tomorrow, a high of 16. At the moment, 15. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
One of the saddest and I'd say frankly silliest aspects of the ongoing algal bloom crisis,
David Penberthy and Will Goodings,
is how many world-class iconic South Australian seafood brands are being caught up in some of the paranoia and some of the baseless hysteria.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Tracy Hill and her husband Glenn run Coorong Wild Seafood.
5AA Breakfast.
We've lost nearly 60% of our orders, not because we've got an algal bloom.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
At 27 minutes to 5, it is World Suicide Prevention Day, so it's sounding a little different here on 5AA today. No ads, just great messages as we raise awareness for a very, very important cause. You can visit startthetchat.com.au, and we really do want to take the first step towards connection here today on 5AA. Timmy G is going to catch up with Zane Kirkwood with a really interesting interview before 5 o'clock, so stay listening for that. And Jimmy Bartell is going to join us after 5 as well. But right now, all thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre with cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. All of it at 919 Marion Road, Marion. Let's welcome in them Sman.
Crows big man Riley O'Brien.
You up the OG! Riley O'Brien!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Well, welcome, Rob. You got the double chance. We'll talk about the Hawthorn game, but how's your week been?
Yeah, good to be here, boys. I missed you. But it's been a good week. Obviously, a disappointing game on Thursday night. A bit of anger and frustration and disappointment post that. But the last few days has been back on the task, mate, and getting ready for Friday night.
You sound a bit nasally. You all right?
I've got a bit of a runny nose.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
But nothing
flu,
major.
No.
It's a genuine, nothing
Someone
of it.
get a mask for Riley O'Brien. I've just come off of it myself. I was crap last Friday too.
You were.
Lucky to get through. I must have had what the Crows had.
Yeah, there's a few runny noses around. Yeah, a few guys.
What's that time of the year, Rob, isn't it? Everyone's a bit run down and there's a bit of fluey, change of seasons.
Yeah, a few guys last week had a bit of fluey stuff, and then there's a few guys with a residual blocked nose, Rowey, so a lot of nasal voices.
You sound nasal.
Horrible for radio, isn't it?
Can someone get a tissue?
Yeah, right here.
Something hanging out here. But that didn't affect us last week. It was just how we played. We Not that we didn't come to play. I hate that saying. They bought it and we didn't quite. How do you sum it up?
Yeah, I think it was that. I think they brought another level of pressure. We didn't adapt to that, and we played into their hands. They play their defence, they fold numbers back. So you have to use the ball against them and, drive your legs around the contest, hit short kicks, and we just blazed away all night and played into their hands.
Yeah, we had a bit of a discussion yesterday, Rob,
Which was
around...
silly. It's not how we play.
Well,
anyway.
That's what pressure does, doesn't it, in finals? And, yeah, experience does count. Now, you've had that one game, you move on, and I heard Nixie in the press conference talk about we'll get back onto the process. So what was the attitude towards training this week with the boys? And you guys as leaders would have had a pretty integral part in that because, we probably said there was probably 4 or 5 players that probably played, a benchmark game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we weren't at the level we need to be. And last night at training, we cracked in, did a lot of contest work, which is where the game starts, especially in finals, and then did some drills around our forward mid connection, not just blazing the ball into their spare player. So I'm sure teams will do that from now on. They'll see that it worked for Collingwood, having a player deep behind the ball. So our ability to adapt, use the ball, especially under pressure, and not just go into the mode where you're bombing it away, because that doesn't suit our forward line and our big forwards up there, and didn't help us win the game on the weekend.
Well, and I suggest you would have had your opposition analysis now. You played them twice this year. What were some of the key sort of takeaways that, we always like as coaches, you want to take away some of their strengths, but obviously you want to focus on what you guys do really well, and you've got a body of work for 23 weeks, you finished top. But what are some of the things from Hawthorn that you'd like to take away?
Yeah, they've been great all year, and we obviously had a good win against them at home about a month ago, and easily could have beaten them in Tasmania as well.
Slow start, though.
Very slow start. Gave them 5 goals. I think we got smashed in clearance first quarter of that game.
In everything.
And contest. So we can't give them 5 goals again because we won't be coming back this time.
So just a quick one on that. I was talking to Rowey about that before, and you've been part of that as well, Rob, over the journey. Sometimes when you lose that part of the game, you get cranked up by the coaches and the players, and you've got guys that are around there, say Berry and Saligo and Dawson, and these guys all want to crack in. How do you balance that? And what's the message from Nixie around making sure we've still got nice balance inside the contest and out?
Yeah, I mean, when we're going down, it's generally coming back to our process, our fundamentals, which is not necessarily everyone going and win the ball, because you don't want to do that, because then you end up all bees to a honey pot and you actually lose even worse. You end up getting the ball on the outside and getting done. So we come back to our process and our fundamentals, which is win the ball, sure, but it's also our ability to get back to body around the contest, covering off on the receivers when they've got the ball, things like that. So it's not as simple as just go in and crack in and win the ball. It's a matter of the whole process in there. But as you said about Hawthorn, their strengths, they certainly have great run off half-back. So ability to stop that, guys like Amon, Impey, these guys, and then their interceptors behind the ball have been key as well. So we can't do what we did last week and allow 28 intercept marks. We need to bring the ball to ground and then stop their run and go off half-back.
That was a massive number. It's the biggest for the year of any team, 28. Josh Rochelle, did he get through?
He trained really well, mate. So he's right in the mix for selection, and he's put in a mountain of work to get to where he is now. And we certainly missed him over the last 6 weeks, and hopefully he can get him back in.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting little dilemma, wouldn't it? So if the PPT tick him off and Burjo's done it and his surgeons and the doctor, that's one thing. Then he's got through training, he's done the body of work, and then it's to have the faith and the confidence in him. And Campo brought it up brilliantly. If he's in that team, he automatically goes to Hardwick, goes to it. Like, it would just be...
Fair introduction back in again.
Yeah, welcome back.
And this is the challenge of not having Isaac in there, because now all of a sudden Josh might get the second best defender in there if they're both playing this week.
Yep.
And Hardwick did a pretty good job on Isaac last time, but he was probably, him and Tex, if you remember, they were probably the 2 pivotal ones. He had
in the last quarter.
7 possessions, kicked 2 goals, had 5 score involvements and turned the game on its head. So we're asking a lot, and this is the challenge, isn't it, Rob? We're asking a lot of a guy who's been out for 8 weeks to come in, and everyone thinks that he's going to be the panacea in the forward line as to how they can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, if he does come in, he's certainly not, from our point of view, expected to, kick all the goals or do everything. It's just a matter of, bringing his spark up there and melding in with the other guys. And certainly another threat, as you said, for Hawthorn to deal with, and for a guy like Hardwick to deal with, and that might free up other guys like Pedler and Zachy Taylor and the other guys up there that have to do some damage.
Does Max Michelini go back? I can see what they wanted to do last week, put some more class in that midfield and play a role. That was a big ask of him as well, being out for 6 weeks. And Campo, you were critical of that one.
I just didn't like it. More on the basis that, he's been out for a period of time too.
Big ask.
It's more about, just settle him back into a position that he knows and he's comfortable. And there was plenty of threats up forward for Collingwood that he could have easily taken a hold of. And, that being, I thought going into the game, even though they brought in Mason Cox, he wasn't going to be the difference in terms of goals scored. He's going to bring it to the ground. So Jamie Elliott was the threat for me. And I thought that would have been just a nice, but you went with Bond. I'd be surprised if he plays this week. He would be the out for me this week. That's the way I would have gone.
Okay. Got a text here. Has Rob practiced his goal kicking this week?
I have. I missed one last week, and I've got an excuse for that, Rowey. That is very annoying, but I had fresh grippo on, and the ball basically stuck to my hand. So this week, no grippo, and if I do have grippo on, I'll wipe my hands on the ground.
What did I used to say to you about blokes that wear grippo?
Don't know.
They fumble.
Don't
wear it.
The grippo is sort of it's sort of in your head. And you try and stop fumbling, and you put more on, and then you keep fumbling more. So, but the ball basically sticks to your hand when you have too much on, and you go to pull your left hand away to guide it down to your foot. It sticks to that hand, and then it goes.
Well, here's a great story. I used to play with a guy. Remember, played with me, Glenn Matton. You probably would remember.
I remember Glenn
Matton used to literally get 2 fingers full, dig it in and put it on his jumper.
I see a lot of players do that.
But he'd rub it. But in the warm-up, I used to, because once it happened, I hated it, the grippo. I hated it. And we're doing lane work warm-up or whatever. And I literally, the ball was stuck on my hand because he was the one before me. He handballed it to me. So from then on, every time he was there, I waited and see which lane he was in, and I went to the opposite side. So I didn't get any of the grippo. It's shocking stuff.
Yeah. So that was your excuse.
That's my excuse, mate. So I'll get one this week, Rowey, and I'll put it through the box, and I'll point to the box where you're commentating and give you a thumbs up.
Straight through the middle. So your confidence as a leader at the club of a response as a collective group from the team?
Very, very confident, mate. Yeah. I think our endeavour was there last week. We just didn't handle the pressure in terms of our ball use.
Yep.
And probably the way we set up, we didn't win us the game, and we know our best is a couple of adjustments away, and we're looking forward to bringing that this week, mate.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
How do you help Jordan Dawson this week? Because clearly Nash is going to go to him. And he did a pretty good job on him last time, even though Dawson got a little bit of the ball, but he probably wasn't quite as effective. Unbelievable player. I think he should win the Brownlow, and disappointing he didn't get the All-Australian captain, but got rewarded with selection. He's going to have him all over him this week. So how do you help him? Because he's clearly an important part to when you win and lose.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, he's obviously a big-bodied Nash and matches up well with Dawson around stoppage. So it's a matter of getting him on the move and helping him out with some body work around stoppage. And then I think the way we didn't play last week in terms of actually sharing the ball and giving handballs around stoppage and getting Dawson out into space actually makes him a lot better player. When we're just booting the ball, not actually getting guys like him running on the outside and using his skill, doesn't help him. So I think that if we play our way, which we normally do, it'll help him bring his strengths to the game, and he's so damaging when he does that.
Had a lot of texts come through. Did you notice the booing of Quainer last week?
Yeah, I noticed it.
As
it
a
was
player,
early on in the game. Yeah, it was pretty pronounced towards him, and there's a lot of booing towards Collingwood, but there was definitely booing towards him in particular. Yeah.
And this week it'll probably be Ginnivan.
I'd say so.
If
he
does anything smart-arsey at the airport,
I reckon he will do something smart-arsey pretty early if he gets a couple of touches. So, he certainly likes playing the villain, Rowey.
Does he really?
I think he definitely does. He loves the attention and loves playing the villain.
So how do you? So don't give him any attention.
I think we just try not to buy into any of that stuff. There's let our footy do the talking and be the plan. But there's certainly
be putting Max right in the firing line this week. I'd be sitting him down. I would have sat him down on Monday, said, right, you just get yourself. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about playing forward or midfield. This is your bloke, and I don't want to see him for the night.
I like it. Yeah, it's good.
Or do you reckon Hingey's better for that? Because who gets that little wizard thing, the big sleeve?
Yeah, well, Hinge can play on small. Wayne Miller can play on the smalls as well.
Lairdy's the same size, so he might be all right.
Yeah, who does Lairdy go? Yeah, on the wizard.
On the wizard?
Lairdy's
I'm not sure.
got the wizard. He's tiny.
Yeah, the wizard's about even smaller than Lairdy.
Yeah.
I think he's about 10 centimetres shorter than Lairdy, which is small, because Lairdy's very, very small.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay. All right. Now, Thursday night, is it paella? Is it pasta? Is it chicken?
Stir-fry night, isn't it?
You know it, mate. Yeah, stir-fry.
We interviewed you last week.
Yeah,
Stir-fry night.
Same thing, mate. Same thing.
Well, I would clip that because it didn't work.
We've had it all year, though. We've only lost a couple of games at home.
Clip it. Didn't work.
What do you suggest, Rowey? Are you going to come cook for us?
No, well,
What's your specialty dish before we go in for us?
I was just a puttanesca. Just a straight out spaghetti.
Do you know what's in a puttanesca?
Yeah, I do. Anchovies, capers.
Yeah, good boy.
Tomato.
Wow,
beautiful. I used to make the best puttanesca in the world.
Has he got the right pronunciation there, Campo? Pretty good.
Yeah, it means whore.
Puttanesca. Yeah,
Isn't it?
Nice.
Isn't it a whore?
I'm not sure.
Puttanesca means a girl of the night.
No, that's a different word, which I'm not pronouncing.
Hooker?
I know the one too. Yeah.
Well, let's leave that right there. Hey, Rob, well done. I hope the runny nose helps. I hope we bounce back. Well, there's no hope. We have a lot of faith in this group to respond. There's no question about that. You finished top for a reason.
Exactly.
And now it's time to make it pay. If everyone plays their role collectively for 120 minutes, I think, and we agree with this, Crow's best is better than Hawthorn's. We just need to see it for longer on Friday night.
Crow's best has been better than everyone all year.
All year.
You don't finish top for no reason.
No.
Exactly.
No.
So we're ready to show that this week, mate. So I'm very excited.
Well done, Big Hua. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, boys.
All for Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs. They've got everything. 919 Marion Road, Marion is where you go for that. We have your chance to win tickets as well to the Crows and Hawks on
let's do
Friday.
another clue.
So let's get another clue out there.
Let's do another clue. So I play in defence.
Okay.
Just simple as that.
We'll leave it there.
So write them all down before 6. There'll be 4 clues. And if you are the first caller through and you get the clue, you are coming and sitting in premium seats for the big hoo-ha final against Hawthorn Friday night.
All right, get calling as well if you'd like to get to where and get on the grand final standby list, 8223 0088. Let's check your roads.
Afternoon at Campbelltown, a crash causing really big delays lower northeast road near Gorge Road. More delays at Kenttown with a smash on Fullerton Road near Buell Road, and Warradale residual delays clearing Diagonal Road near Oaklands Road. Getting busy at the moment, Cudmore Terrace at Henley Beach with a camera, Frederick Road at Grange. Nissan X-Trail e-Power, the hybrid reinvented. Glide away with e-Power Hybrid for the price of petrol. Search Nissan offers. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
Someone you know may be struggling with thoughts of suicide. A conversation could help them feel heard and supported. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone might be going through a tough time. The training is not counselling, it's not complex, it's about compassion and starting the chat. Being there matters most. This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection and hope. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and it's a reminder of how important it is to talk about this stuff and get the conversation going. Well, today we're lucky to have Mark Ryan in the studio, better known in the stand-up world as the Beautiful Bogan. Now, Mark, are you happy to talk us through your lived experience with suicide and mental health challenges?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Which is sensational, and we thank you for that. We really do. So when things do get a bit tough and a bit heavy, how do you go about handling them?
Well, to be honest with you, I go to bed because I think there's a lot made of resilience these days, whereas I think if you live with dark thoughts, you're already really resilient. You've survived 100% of your worst days up to this point. So I give myself a break. The dishes will be there tomorrow, but I'm less likely to hurt myself if I'm laying in bed or laying on the couch watching TV. And after that, I reach out to a friend. Once I've recovered a little bit, then I reach out to a friend and say, hey, I need a chat.
Do you think sometimes people, with the waiting bit, they're thinking, no, I've got to get to that, I've got to get to that, I've got to get to that. Can that sometimes just build the pressure?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because we have these narratives that, you got to be tougher, you got to be... No. Because in my lived experience, right, going for a walk can escalate stuff because there's noises. If you're in that spot, a lot of the time you're hypersensitive to noises and different sounds, and you're already wired. So to put yourself in a position where you're even more wired, in my lived experience, again, I'm more happy to go lay down, hide away for a little bit, let people know around me in my circle that I'm not good. I don't need to be fixed. I don't need anyone to fix me, right? I just need some space to take a deep breath and reset. Yeah.
It's almost that do what works for you.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different, aren't they? Yeah. And like you said, perhaps going for a walk helps somebody else.
Yes.
But it doesn't help you.
No, 100%. And again, this is about listening to your body and listening to what helps you.
You've said that stand-up comedy helps you. I thought for a lot of people that might be the opposite. So how does it help you?
Well, according to my first therapist, it was not a good life choice either. I'll be honest with you. Like I've never passed anything. I've never passed an exam. Like, I'm a northern suburbs boy. I left school in year 10. The only test I've ever nailed is my mental health care plan test. And
wow.
I got an A for that, which was not great. That was A for ambulance. And but the point is, like it brings me joy.
Has someone ever said anything to you that made a real positive difference?
I think the biggest thing that someone ever said to me is that I see you.
Yeah.
And that's for people like myself that live with intrusive thoughts and live on the precipice of life and death. For someone to say, I see you and I hear you and you matter is really, like, it just makes you feel valued. It's not someone trying to fix you. It's just like, I see you. You don't need to be fixed.
Yeah.
You just need to be loved and accepted just as the way you are.
It's a powerful message. For those that are concerned about somebody, what advice would you give them as far as that first approach goes?
It's tricky and it's scary, but you don't have to have the answers. You just sit in the mud and turn your phone off and just go, I'm yours. We don't even have to speak. Like, some of the most powerful moments I've had in my life is when someone's just sat with me. We haven't spoken a word, but there's someone...
You're just there.
You're just there, and you're not alone. And the trickiest part about this stuff is you feel like you're the only one going through it. You are not the only one going through this.
Sitting here with you, you're making a massive impact on a lot of people today, so we really do appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
No, it's brilliant. Mark, thanks again. It's a difficult conversation to have, but it's one of the most powerful ways that we can break silence, reduce stigma, and remind each other that none of us are ever truly alone. It's today's conversation has raised feelings for you. Well, please know that support is always available. You can call Lifeline on 13 11 14 or visit startthechat.com.au to learn how to safely open up these conversations in your own life.
A moment ago, I shared that starting the chat can make a difference. Sometimes that difference begins with you. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone may be struggling and gives you the confidence to reach out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the first step. This World Suicide Prevention Day, let's stand together and show up for each other. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 7 minutes to 5. Jimmy Bartell, thanks to Statesman Windows, is coming up after 5 o'clock. We'll keep taking your calls as well. And for those with an eye to the Balaclava Cup, it's been run half hour ago. So the winner, Sav on Ice, Rochelle Milnes, has taken that one out. So congratulations to her and to all those who probably had a great day out there at Balaclava Cup Day today.
Another female jockey wins another Balaclava Cup.
Congratulations on the 4-year-old grey. So Sav on Ice is the winner. And now, as you've been hearing throughout the day here on 5AA, it is a very important day, World Suicide Prevention Day. We want to take the first step towards connection. You can visit the website too, which has been worth promoting, startthechat.com.au. And our very own Timmy Ginniver has a very special guest as we share a moment for this cause.
Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, a reminder of how important it is to talk about this stuff and get the conversation going. Today I'm sitting with Zane Kirkwood, good friend of mine. Zane, firstly, are you comfortable with talking about your journey so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that I've become more comfortable with speaking about and sharing, and something I was hiding away from and wanted to hide from people, even those close to me, sort of thing. And now that I've I guess realised that other people going through similar stuff, it's made it more easier to speak about it, and in the hope that someone takes one little piece and it can help them on their journey.
How did you go about trying to navigate your way through? What were the steps that you decided to take eventually?
Yeah, I guess it's a tricky one. For me personally, it's, I guess, finding what works for you, and I guess you do a bit of research of what other people are doing, and then you find out that doesn't really work for you, and it's not one size fits all sort of thing. So you have to do a bit of research on what works for you, and something that you can stick to as well. You need that, I guess, that routine that really helped me with trying to navigate some tough times of, okay, well, at least if I do this one thing today, that's a positive, and I'll tick that off and I'll go forward. And for me, that started off just walking a lap of the block at home, which is only a couple 100 metres, and that was all I mustered for a day. That was a positive, and then built on that, and then getting back into work, back into, well, I never really stopped footy, but I guess getting back into footy and sport was really important, and staying involved in that, having that connection to groups and community groups. But yeah, having that routine, I guess, is really important.
How did those that are close to you and the ones you reached out to, how could they be of help?
I guess they're that constant support. I guess having that person or group of people to reach out to when times are tough. I guess it's really important to have that group around you that you can rely on their feedback and their, I guess, support again of I need some help. What can we do together, sort of thing. So it can be tough to hear, and to be, I guess, hearing someone explain the feelings that they're going through, that they don't even know what they're going through, can be hard to hear. But more often than not, that person just wants someone to listen and provide a fresh set of eyes on what's going on for them, because it might be valuable feedback that you can give to them.
We're talking to a lot of people that aren't suffering mental health but want to get training on how to start that conversation. How important is that?
Yeah, it's really important. I guess just that further education on different aspects of mental health is really important, to just understand what someone may be going through. As we've said, that it's not one size fits all, and it's not the same thing for everyone, but just that further education that you can get with something like mental health first aid training is really important, that you can learn things about other people, but also yourself, and how you would handle different situations, and the appropriate channels to send people or to help people where they need to go for that support.
We've spoken to a lot of people today just about when they're not feeling at their best and how best to handle that. And I know a lot of people, we've had some people just say, I just like somebody being there. Some said, I'd like to do something. Some said, I just go to bed. What is the best advice there?
I guess it's what's best for the individual and for that person at that time. Something for me, I like to, someone asked me that question, is to go and find something that you enjoy. And if it's 20 seconds of enjoyment, or 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours, take that good side, rather than just staying in that kind of hole sort of thing. For me, I love getting outdoors and exercising and going for a run or something like that. Now that I've stopped playing sport, that's my kind of outlet. But yeah, finding something that brings you joy and that you can get some enjoyment from, and try and do that as much as you can to get out of that space.
If somebody's listening today and they're not having a great day, what would you say to them?
Reach out to the appropriate people around you, the people that you can get feedback from or that support from. Again, find something that you enjoy, go and do that, whether it's watching sport, go and being active, anything that you enjoy. That's for me. Yeah, find something that brings you a bit of joy and can get you out of that headspace of where you might be in, even if it's just for a small period. That's a big win, and reward those little wins as well, and take them as a badge of honour that you've had that little win for the day, and then we can build on it for going forward, whether it's the next day or the next week.
How are you going now, mate? How are you feeling?
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's coming out of sport's been a bit of a different ride. Not having that connection, that group around you, but I'm finding different things to connect and picking up signs and symptoms that I might be going down having a bad day, and I'll act on it early and work on that throughout the day. And I know that's something that's going to happen, and I'll work with it and rather than against it, sort of thing. So going well. Thank you.
Do you enjoy being an advocate for mental health?
I do, more so that if someone takes one little piece of something that I may say that may help them, that's worth it for me. All those awkward, I guess, feelings and conversations that you might have, but if someone takes one little piece of it, then it's worth it.
Doing a great job, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Keep it up. That's Zane Kirkwood. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. It's a difficult conversation to have, but it's also one of the most powerful ways that we can break the silence, reduce stigma, and remind each other that none of us are ever truly alone. If today's conversation has raised feelings for you, please know that support is always available. You can call Lifeline on 13 11 14 or visit startthechat.com.au to learn how to safely open up these conversations in your own life.
Well told, Timmy G, and thank you, Zane, for being so brave with that story. It is 5 o'clock. It's time to take a stop down for the news, and then after that, Jimmy Bartell will join Rowey and Campo.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Partly cloudy tonight and a shower or two tomorrow, a high of 16. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
As finals footy gets tougher, nothing's built tougher than TJM 4x4, Nailsworth, Ranella and now Mount Gambier.
A 40-year-old man has been arrested after a pursuit in the northern suburbs. He was seen acting suspiciously in Carina Avenue and Paralawi before driving off in a silver Subaru station wagon. The man rammed a police car before speeding off. Neither of the officers inside the vehicle were injured. Polier tracked the car as it sped along the Northern Expressway before road spikes were used to stop it on Martins Road at Parafield Gardens. The driver's facing numerous charges, including dangerous driving to evade police and acts to endanger life. He'll appear in court tomorrow. Victorian police say they'll continue to search for accused killer Desi Freeman for as long as it takes. Today marks the 16th day of the search for Freeman, who's accused of killing 2 police officers and injuring a third at his property in Porpunka. Detective Superintendent Jason Kelly was asked if they believe he's still alive.
At the moment, everything is on the table, so to speak, in terms of whether he's taken his own life. He's obviously one avenue we're exploring, whether he's up in the hills, secreted away, or whether he was able to get out. So we haven't closed our minds to any possibility at this time.
A senior police officer charged with abusing public office and domestic violence assault can now be named. 53-year-old Senior Sergeant Mark Orford of Prospect faced the Adelaide Magistrates Court today. The court heard the alleged offences date back to the early 2000s. He remains free on bail with the case to return to court later this year. Senior Sergeant Orford is suspended from duty but is still being paid by SAPOL. Malaysia Airlines is increasing its Adelaide-Kuala Lumpur flights. They'll initially increase to 6 a week from November and then daily next year. Tourism Minister Zoe Bettison says it's great news for the state.
What another vote of confidence in the South Australian tourism sector, with Malaysian Airlines saying that they're going to be flying daily from February 2026. This creates more than 60,000 additional seats per year between our 2 cities.
Severe flooding in Bali has claimed the lives of 2 people. Popular tourist spot Denpasar has been the worst hit, with waters reaching 3 metres high in some areas. And Australians are being urged to take extra care if they're travelling to Qatar following an Israeli strike on the country. The IDF targeted a building in the capital Doha where Qatari officials were meeting with Hamas leaders. Qatar has been trying to negotiate a ceasefire with the terrorist group. The wraps have come off the iPhone 17 today. There are 3 different versions, the standard, iPhone Pro and the new iPhone Air. Apple CEO Tim Cook says it's something special.
iPhone Air is a total game changer. It's designed for customers who want pro performance in an unbelievably thin and light design.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
The Crows have had a quiet day in the lead up to Friday night's semi-final clash against Hawthorn. Their opponents hit the track though. There are also reports Hawthorn has met with a rival captain. More from Jordan Tunbridge.
The Hawks are preparing for Friday night's semi-final against Adelaide, but also appear to have one eye on the future. Coach Sam Mitchell is understood to have met with Essendon skipper Zach Merritt last night, despite Merritt being contracted. Speaking just moments before the story broke on Wired World of Sports, Mitchell responded to questions about the club's interest.
I'm not sure. You have to talk to the list management guys about that, but I mean, I hope that they are working behind the scenes on improving our list.
Mitchell also refused to confirm whether Mitch Lewis will replace injured forward Cal Shadir after booting 4 goals in the VFL last week.
Geelong midfielder Bailey Smith has shouted abuse at a female photographer and raised his middle finger to her during the Cats training today. A massive payday for former Adelaide 36er Josh Giddey. He's signed a 4-year contract extension with the Chicago Bulls worth $150 million. And Ange Postecoglou has secured a return to the EPL appointed manager of Nottingham Forest. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Afternoon at O'Halloran Hill, multi-car smash on the Southern Expressway underpasses. Dear Majors road, huge delays outbound. That'll be a bit of a pain if you're going home that way tonight, but leave early if you can. Campbelltown, a crash, Lower North East Road near Gorge Road, and another collision at Kenttown causing delays. Fullerton Road near Beulah Road. Cameras, Military Road, West Beach and Pym Street at Croydon Park. Krispy Kreme is bringing the joy with the houses of Harry Potter Donut Collection. Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin and Gryffindor. Limited time only at OTR and Krispy Kreme stores. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotaMaterialHandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, a shower or two tomorrow with a high of 16. Partly cloudy Friday, also 16. Mostly sunny Saturday, 19 and 22 for Sunday. At the moment, 14. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Braglis. Tonight, a homeless man and his walker carried from an Adelaide hospital and left alone on a footpath. See the exclusive video. The senior police officer charged with abusing public office and assault, but still being paid by the force. The simple switch saving you hundreds on home insurance. And the Messiah's advice to Matthew Nix. 9 News, your news. Night at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
At 7 after 5 on this Wednesday night. Where are they now? Coming up at 5:30, we have volleyballing legend Nat Cook as well as the world champs of volleyball coming to Adelaide very, very soon. Gemma Houghton from Port Adelaide's AFLW side and your calls. Remember, every caller that gets to Weir's on the standby list for that grand final package. AFL authorised GF promotion, GFAFL 25/145. And of course, we have tickets too to the Crows Hawthorn semi-final. We are slowly giving out clues along the way. Hopefully you got the first couple in the first hour. Few more still to come, and we'll give you the chance to win that double. Right now, though, all thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company, SA family-owned, operated since 1980.
Bartell checks sides it brilliantly. He can do it all, James Bartell. He's my Bravo man.
Jimmy Bartell on the 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, well, he's our Mr. September. Jimmy, welcome.
Thanks, mate. How you doing? You've been in, you have the fetal position the last couple of days. You good? You've seen the sun rise? What's happening?
No, I'm doom and gloom, man. I'm telling you.
He was rocking in his chair last week, Jimmy, after the game. I had to give him a cuddle before he went home.
I hate finals.
What would have cheered us all up? I saw you in the commentary box. What's going on in the Adelaide Oval? It's my favourite ground to go commentator because they'd have the Hague's chocolate sitting there. No chocolate for finals.
No,
well, that's only for gather rounds, Jimmy. You don't get spoiled every week.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, come on.
We'll try and get some this. We'll try and get some this Friday. Let's talk about the chocolates. Collingwood got them on Thursday night. They just played a pure finals brand of footy under pressure. When the Crows took down their time and space, they just had the class to get out, to get away from them, to use the ball. They had that 8 or 9 minutes in the third quarter, and we were like deers in headlights.
Yeah, and I think the key word you said there was pressure. Obviously, pressure at the moment, but pressure around the ball. But there was also some structural things that jumped out at me from a Collingwood point of view, which allowed them to put that pressure on Adelaide and actually pull apart some of their really good structures, which we've commented throughout the year, how well they moved the ball, but also how well they did defend the ball. So when I look back at it, pretty much nearly every stoppage, they had one of their forwards come up to the stoppage. Now, Collingwood like to bring their forwards high and keep their lane, but the difference this time is they plugged one inside of the stoppage. So it was Schultz very early in the game. It became McCreary. And in the third quarter, it was Lipinski a lot. So what that actually allowed Collingwood to do, and this has always been an issue with Collingwood, is Collingwood can get too far on the forward side of the footy. So what this allowed them to do is the forward be the number inside the contest, and then they could actually really spit forward because you've got to go back and get your numbers even for the footy. But that also allowed their midfielder or a midfield type like Pendles, Chris, all these sort of guys to sit off in a bit of contest coverage. It's sort of like a sweeper, but a couple of steps off. So that meant they could go to work really hard in the contest, knowing you've got a bit of cover around the contest. So this is where we see Adelaide quick kicking out, being rushed. Darcy Moore comes into play. Frampton comes into play. But also what it did was it pulled Adelaide's defensive back six apart. So, we know Adelaide work really well as a back six. So they actually didn't allow them to be a back six because obviously Malera was up at the contest, Hinge was caught in between, and it was no coincidence those guys didn't really have great games. And then the other element to it was everyone kept rushing back to help their defence. The intent was right from the Crows, but you only go back and then you've got to come up and press onto a number. So lots of guys came back, but all they did was guard sprinkler heads. So you already had the numbers back in defence, and you've got to trust your defence, to defend one-on-one or get proactive. But they were coming all the way back, which created all this space between the ball and their forward line.
Yeah, well, the other thing too, Jimmy, on the night, I agree with you structurally, but the other thing too is Collingwood didn't allow Adelaide any real deep entries, so they normally average around 3 goals in that sort of 0 to 30 range. They only allowed them 3 goals. They normally kick 6 throughout the year, and it was just the ability of Collingwood to not give them any deep entries, but also shoot from around that sort of 80-metre mark, and then all they did was allow Moore and these guys to intercept mark. And the other thing too, once Collingwood played a forward half game, all the Adelaide's forwards got really high. So that allowed, and that played into Collingwood's hands, and they just played a front half game and they just couldn't get it forward anymore.
Yeah, spot on, Campo. And then because they were really well set up behind the ball from a stoppage or a contested situation, if Adelaide were able to find that release mark, because there was somebody already there, they could man the mark really quickly. There was no, take the 5 metres, the stand rule. They actually took the mark, which is actually important. And I've always, debated this with a couple of people I love to talk footy with, is the clubs that just go, no, we always give up the 5. Sometimes you actually need to take the mark because that extra 5 metres is important. So what Collingwood did well, if it was in the front half, they took the mark, which means that the Adelaide player went back off the mark, and then a bit of the moment as we're talking about, they weren't brave enough to take the one on the 45 or just wheel and go. So they were taking a lot of those entry kicks from pretty much the logos or just inside their front half.
And the other thing too, Jimmy, the pressure of Collingwood, they really ramped it up. They were at 194 for the game. Adelaide and Hawthorn are the best 2 teams. They're around 185. So they're going to get their whack again this week with Hawthorn because they did that against GWS. Yeah, well, as we mentioned there, the template is there, and where Collingwood were able to set the game up structurally with the types of players, the Hawks have got the same type and just as dangerous, especially in the front half. Yeah, the other one too, Jimmy, I want to ask. Now, finals experience counts because you've been in there, a lot of the time. You played a lot of finals with and continuity of players. So I think there was an element of that. The other thing too, we've got a bit of a conundrum over here. We had the discussion about Max Michelani last week about coming off. We've got Josh Rochelle this week. Would you take the risk? Yes, 100%. Yep. I'd be playing Rochelle. The funny thing is, whenever you come back from an injury, normally apart from just getting the rhythm of the game, you can normally go pretty well because you've spent 7, 8 weeks or 6 weeks, or however long it's been, building for one game of football, which is actually quite unusual when you think about it. Like having that amount of time, it's normally the second one after a long layoff that gets you because you've gone, just using 6 weeks for an example, you use 6 weeks to prepare for one game, and then all of a sudden you're 5 or 6 days to prepare for the next after coming back from a long layoff. That's normally the one that you tend to be a bit flatter in. You've got to throw everything at the stumps when you've got to do or die final, and that creativity that you need. And that's the thing. We've got the sub rule anyway. So if it's not working and you've still got the sub, up your sleeve, you either play him as the sub or you can sub him. Yeah, I reckon they'll play him, and if he burns out, they'll take him off. A lot of Crows were down, which was unusual. I think I saw a stat on one of the footy shows where there were 12 players with 12 possessions or less, and some of their stars were held, Jimmy. Yeah, it was a bad night to have a bad night, wasn't it? Yeah. And I think we've highlighted, I don't think Collingwood allowed them to get in the game. There was a couple that would be disappointed with their efforts, and you have to live with that. But the advantage of finishing
top of the table and top four is you get another crack. And, they might, well, they'll definitely need to make the most of it, because if you go back-to-back poor, well, then you're spending the rest of sort of your football time trying to get back in a final to prove that, you don't shrink in the heat.
Yeah, fool's gold. Let's hope it's not. Hawthorn, is the Crows' best better than Hawthorn's, or when they get it together, you like them?
I do like the Hawks best. They both have a very good top end of footy. Probably throughout the year, I think the gap between good and worse is probably just a slightly bit tighter for the Crows, because they've just been a consistent force. Let's not diminish them finishing on top of the ladder in the season they had, and the Hawks went through that flat patch. But the last 6 weeks, Hawthorn's been very, very good. Barras and Battle now have that combination. I think people have ignored a little bit of James Sicili's back into that dominant form that made him an absolute star of the game. I know we all focused on him at the start of the year, but if you have a look at his last 6 weeks, he's definitely back. They can mix and match really well. Ginnivan, as much as there'll be a lot of focus on does he get door stops, he's 20 and a goal a game since he's come back into the side, and that's elite. There's only a handful of players that do that each week.
So are you going to judge us over there if we boo Ginnivan every time he gets near the ball this Friday, Jimmy?
Look, it's not up to me to tell people whether to boo or not.
Spot on.
That's people's own prerogative and choice. People always, what do you want to do? I've just never been a booer, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell people what to do. It's just something, from a personal point of view. I've just never been a booer, but I'm also not a yeller and a screamer or a cheerer or a clapper. I tend to sit there and just watch games of football, basketball, whatever I watch. I tend to be a little bit calmer in the way I watch sport.
Yeah. Would it surprise you if I said I was a booer?
No, look, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Well, I don't cheer and clap at all, but I'm a booer. I love a good boo.
He is. He's a booer, Jimmy. Now, listen, we're over here in South Australia. We've seen the last touch rule work here for a number of years. I can't believe the outcry from the AFL, particularly Damien Hardwick and Sam Mitchell yesterday around, why are we changing the fabric of the game? Aren't we about trying to clear the game up and make it easy? It's only going to be 4 or 5 decisions a game, but at least it takes out all that innuendo.
Yeah, well, Campo, you should know better than this. If there was a horse called self-interest, it'd be odds on and everyone would be hoping it wins because they'd be backing it. So you just got to sometimes look at what coach's strongest point of view is and why they're looking at. Well, who does Gold Coast have? They've got one of the most dominant ruckman and midfield brigades from stoppage. So you want to have more throw-ins, don't you?
Well, they're going to get 3 more a game, Jimmy.
Yeah, but they want as many stoppages as possible. Hawthorn's got big Lloyd Meek and they've got Jai Newcomb and they're looking to add another star midfielder of the game. So I think we'll be fine. Look, you know what? Try it. But I don't know why we can't revert a rules. Give it a go for a couple of years. If we don't like it, what's wrong with going back?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Hey, just quickly, Brisbane, Gold Coast, are the Lions in strife? Have they got the wobble boots on?
Yeah, in the pineapple grapple up there, and the fact that the Suns are wearing the guava makes me very happy. I like that sort of guava-looking jumper. It's pretty cool. I think the concern for the Lions is it one injury too far. They've been incredible this year or the last couple of years, how they've been able to cover and get better with their injuries. But you just worry when you've got, Gallup on the forward line, and then Morris is held. Who's the big banana? And the Cats did an extraordinary job shutting down Rayner and McCluggage. So you lose Lachie Neale as well now, who just wins the footy with ease and can test the ball. Is it one injury too many? And the Suns got a hold of him last time. So I think that the Suns might get him again.
Yeah, I've got the Suns beating Collingwood and a Crows.
It's a free hit for them, isn't it?
It is.
It's a free hit. No one expects them. Like even the way they were celebrating last week, it was like, we're through to the grand final. Yeah. Maybe that's just the air out of the tyres that they need, and they just go in and have a free hit. That's the way I'd be selling it.
Yeah, well, I think they probably approached that the same way they took on the Dockers. But they got some serious talent there, as we know, Gold Coast. But Rowell, Anderson, Witts, in there. They got bounce off half back. Their forward line's pretty dynamic when it's up and going. But, yeah, I reckon they should start favourites in for Lions.
I think they'll beat them. Hey, Jimmy, we'll try and get some Hague's chocolates up in that commentary box on Friday for you, mate.
Better be Farmers Union or else I'm coming to headlock you.
No, it's not Farmers Union, it's Fleurieu Milk.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, well done, Jimmy. Statesman's Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. And just like Jimmy Bartell, they are elite performers, consistently delivering at the highest level. Need the best windows? See Statesman Windows.
Guess who else is a champion? Ange Postecoglou. He has found himself a job in the Premier League.
Good.
He's going to head to Nottingham Forest and he's going to have his first game against Arsenal this Saturday night. So what we're going to do next is we're going to chat to Max Scott, who's on the Talk Sport channels over there in the UK, and he's a big Nottingham Forest man. So we'll get all the latest in a minute.
Yeah, and clue number 3, this is for the tickets to Friday. Hawks take on the Crows. Come on, Campo, we'll be calling it live. Clue number 3, in the 2023 draft, Sydney matched the Crows' bid.
Ooh. Put it down in your notes.
That's giving it away, that one.
Don't call in yet, but there is a few starting to add up now. Let's check your traffic.
Total Dogs breakfast at O'Halloran Hill at the moment. It's due to a multi-car smash on the Southern Expressway near the Majors Road underpass. Monster delays back to Tonsley. If you can, use South Road instead if you've got to go that way tonight. Campbelltown a crash, lower North East Road near Gorge Road. That's getting cleaned up. And Kenttown a smash. Still got a few delays there too. Fullerton Road near Beulah Road. Camera, Frederick Road at Grange. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
Someone you know may be struggling with thoughts of suicide. A conversation could help them feel heard and supported. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone might be going through a tough time. The training is not counselling, it's not complex, it's about compassion and starting the chat. Being there matters most. This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection and hope. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
Hello, it's Timmy Ginniver here. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. Losing mates to suicide is the questions that don't stop. I keep asking myself, did I miss something? Was there a sign that I didn't see? I had a friend that I reconnected with after some time of not seeing each other, and I got to say it was a really exciting time. He seemed really happy, enthusiastic about life. What I didn't know was behind the scenes that he was having issues with employment, he was having issues at home. I was shattered when I heard of his passing not long after we reconnected. And it just said to me that, you know what, even though they appear happy, sometimes you're just not sure. I just want to say this. Check in on your mates and your family and encourage others to alert you too. If someone is struggling, and if you're the one struggling, please speak up. You're not alone, and a simple conversation can truly make a difference. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
A moment ago, I shared that starting the chat can make a difference. Sometimes that difference begins with you. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone may be struggling and gives you the confidence to reach out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the first step. This World Suicide Prevention Day, let's stand together and show up for each other. Visit startthetchat.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Where are they now? Right around the corner at 5:30. It's 24 minutes after 5 on your Wednesday night. Campo in for Timmy G. Just before we go across the waters to the UK, we're giving you a chance to win the Vintec wine cabinet. This is valued at over $4,000. This is a fantastic prize. And, of course, you win tonight. If you get this moment right, which is a grand final, iconic footy moment, you just have to listen to the audio. You could win a twin pack of Rusden wines. Have a listen to this and then call in.
Needs to be inch perfect. He is. He's got the most impossible goal.
So if you think you know what that iconic grand final moment is, 8223 0055. There's a twin pack of Rusden up for grabs, and then in the running for the $50 bottle Vintec wine cabinet.
Well, talking about great moments, Ange Postecoglou has been named as Nottingham Forest's new manager. How they sacked their old ones beyond me. But Max Scott's an EPL reporter and presenter, Talk Sport. He's a Nottingham Forest supporter. He joins us all the way over there in Great Britain. Max, what a decision.
Yeah, it's blockbuster stuff, isn't it? And with Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis, I'm not sure how familiar you are with him, but it's always blockbuster. You know, you never really know what he's going to do. He's clearly got a relationship with Ange Postecoglou, that Greek connection, and yeah, it shocked the Premier League world over here for sure. I mean, we're talking about, you know, Ange Postecoglou having sort of a tactical approach, so like chalk and cheese compared to Forest former manager Nuno Espirito Santo, who took the club from a relegation dogfight the season before into European football for the first time in 90 years. So time will tell how this sort of turns out, but I think a lot of Premier League fans are glad to have Big Ange sort of back in the seat.
Yeah. Nuno, what did he do wrong? You're 3 games in, he's won 1, lost 1 and drew 1. God, they're brutal over there, Max.
Yeah, he's not been sacked over form, that's for sure. What's happened in the summer is Forest have brought in a new sporting director. He's a man called Edu, who was formerly at Arsenal, and that's essentially shifted the power balance, and the relationship between Nuno and the owner changed. There was much less contact. We had a fantastic summer bringing in 12 signings. And, you know, as far as I'm led to believe that many of those weren't at the blessing of the manager. And so it was a real breakdown in the relationship. Nuno came out, I think, foolishly, very public in his criticism of the owner. And ultimately, the writing's been on the wall for a couple of weeks. And during the international break that we've got over here, it was decided that Ange Postecoglou would replace him.
Oh, man. He is the man for a crisis, Ange. He is the man for all occasions, Max. He will shake the living by jingos, and your fans will love him, Max.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a difficult situation for Ange to come in, not least because he's got 4 consecutive away games in the league, in different competitions, so he's going to have very little time on the training field. But he's also got a job on his hands trying to convince the fans that he's the right person for the job, because, you know, Ange did win fantastically that European trophy with Spurs, but he also did lose 22 out of 38 league games. And obviously over here in the Premier League, promotion and relegation is a very real threat for clubs like Forest, who don't have the money and the commercial backing of clubs like Manchester United, Liverpool, etc. And so if that league form continues domestically, then not only, I think, will he be hounded out the door by Forest fans, but I think we've got an owner that isn't afraid to pull the trigger when needed. So he's got a big job on his hands, but it could be the development that Forest need.
Well, Max, how do they get? What's a pass mark for him? Like, he comes in, as you say, 3 games in. How does he change the locker room in terms of making sure that they're on board with what he wants to do? And how quickly can he change it, to perhaps the Ange ball conversation that he did at Hotspurs?
Well, look, the pass mark has been laid out very clear by the owner. He wants Ange to win trophies. He's got a track record of winning trophies wherever he goes. Ange Postecoglou, he always wins things in his second season, mate. That was, the quote of the decade over here in the UK. So he needs to win things. He wants to win trophies. Forest, of course, have a rich history of being, European title winners back to back. Winning domestic trophies, but we're a small provincial club that are trying to sort of break that glass ceiling with all the big London boys and the Manchester clubs, etc. And the only thing I'd say about Ange Ball is in England, in the Premier League, it hasn't been a resounding success. He got off to a great first 10 games for Spurs, and it all seemed to unravel then domestically, and so. Philosophically, his idea about how to play football is captivating, but whether it works in what is the best league in the world and the most competitive league in the world, the jury's still out on that. And so he's got a lot to do. And, it's my understanding that a lot of the players at Forest have been shaken by the news. They love Nuno. He built a really tight bond within the dressing room. And I know Ange can do that, but it's going to be tough for him.
Nah, well done to the Tricky Trees. Great work. Thanks for that, Max. We'll keep in touch.
Cheers, fellas.
Well done, Max Scott there, EPL reporter. Ange Postecoglou. The Tricky Trees is their name. The Tricky Trees.
The Forests.
Sherwood Forest.
Someone's already called them on the Unique Homestyle Food text line the Leiths.
Oh, the Leaf Forest. Yeah, well done. Hey, let's go to Nick at Kensington. We're going to play it again. Here it is.
Needs to be inch perfect. He is. He's got the most impossible goal.
2 bottles of Rusden, an iconic AFL moment. Nick, what is it?
Oh, hi, fellas. I'm wondering if it's Eric Hipwood's goal in the grand final last year.
Oh, it was a good goal.
It was. Sorry, Nick. Let's go to Jaden at Salisbury Heights.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Who do you think it is?
That is Dom Sheed kicking the winning goal in the 2018 grand final against Collingwood.
Yabba dabba do. 2 bottles of Rusden wines. Here it is here.
If he kicks the goal, I think West Coast can win the grand final. 2 minutes and just under. Massive. Sheed from the boundary. Needs to be inch perfect. He is. He's got the most impossible goal.
It's a great goal, no question. You go into the running for that Vintech wine cabinet full of Rusden wines, Jaden. Well done.
Oh, wonderful. That'd be great.
Nah, you'll love that. And a twin pack to go now.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. And we'll keep doing that throughout this week and next. All thanks to our great mates at Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackgut Shiraz. RusdenWines.com.au is where to go. Next, after the 5:30 headlines, we're going to speak to Gary Buckenara. It's Where Are They Now?
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. 2 police officers have escaped injury after their patrol car was rammed by a man at Paralawi this afternoon. Jacinta Nampajimpa Price says she's received overwhelming community support as she faces pressure to apologise over her comments about Indian migration. Brisbane has been named Australia's top sporting city for a 3rd consecutive year. And Geelong star Bailey Smith is under fire for abusing a photographer at training. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Real Dogs breakfast this afternoon for O'Halloran Hill drivers. Got a multi-car smash on the Southern Expressway just near the underpass at Majors Road. Monster delays back to Tonsley. If you can use South Road to avoid that tonight. Campbelltown crash low on North East Road near Gorge Road, and Kenttown smash getting cleared up Fullerton Road near Beulah Road. Cameras tonight got a few about Pimsbury, Croydon and Cudmore Terrace, Henley Beach. Help IGA support the McGrath Foundation by purchasing specially marked products to fund cancer care nurses so that no one goes through cancer without care. T's and C's apply. And September 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a shower or two tomorrow with a high of 16, at the moment 14. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
ANZ Bank, fresh off reporting a $3.6 billion profit, decided that it's not making enough money and it needs to sack a whole bunch of staff.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Wendy Streets is the president of the FSU, the Finance Sector Union.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
It had already hit the news cycle before ANZ spoke to us at 8.
5AA breakfast.
So it was a dreadful, disrespectful way to treat their staff.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Everybody get up.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 27 minutes to 6. We're enjoying your company tonight. You can have a say on the show and get in the running to win grand final tickets, flights and accommodation. It is so easy. Just call into the show and get on air. 8223 0000 is the number. Still have those Crows and Hawks tickets to give away as well very soon, which we're looking forward to do. Rowey's got, how many clues you got left? 1 or 2?
2 more to go.
2 more.
Well, actually, yes, I have. I'll do one now.
Oh, you want to give one? All right.
Let's do one now
One
before
more.
our Where Are They Now? I made the under-22 AFL Team of the Year.
Ooh. If you've got the last couple, I reckon you're starting to really help yourself
one and
out
one
here.
that equals 2. Okay.
That's a good clue.
1 more to go. We'll do that before 6.
We certainly will. And very soon we'll talk to Olympic gold medalist Nat Cook with the Volleyball World Championships. They're coming to Adelaide later this year. That is going to be very exciting. So we'll talk about that very soon as well. But right now, all thanks to Walco at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool covers. It's Where Are They Now?
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Well, Hawks take on the Crows this week, so we thought we'd get a Where Are They Now? A star, he was at Subiaco. He moved to Hawthorn in 82 and probably become a bigger star if he possibly could. An All-Australian, multiple times, 4 premierships, was a massive finals, big game player. Renowned for his high marking and elite skills. We speak of none other than Gary Buckenara. Gary, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Nice to be on the radio with you.
Nah, great stuff. Now, I know you're a great cricketer. You went to the same school my brother did. How did you get into footy? You got into footy reasonably late. You were going to be a magnificent cricketer with Dennis Lilly and Rod Marsh, weren't you?
Yeah, I was more into it. Look, I played first grade cricket when I was 17, so I had a young start to it and played with and against some of the great WA cricketers, and so it was really my first love, cricket, and I played amateur footy with my mates, and I grew a bit, and all of a sudden became a pretty good footballer at that level, and then wandered off to Subi to have a trial, and in the end it was making a choice of either having a crack at footy or going to cricket. And, it was sort of, if you did the numbers, it's probably easier to get a game in footy than it was at cricket back in those days, especially for WA with such a strong group of players, yeah.
Well, it wasn't long before the VFL come knocking, and they did, and the Hawks tried to get you out of Subiaco, but it ended up in the courts, didn't it?
Not initially. That was when I wanted to come back and join the West Coast Eagles. That's when it went to court. But no, Hawthorn did a deal, and Subi were pretty much nearly to the wall in terms financially, and Hawthorn offered them a fair bit of money over 3 years, and that basically saved Subiaco. So, I guess they sold me off to save the ship.
Really? Who was your coach at Subi, Gary?
I had 2 coaches, Peter Burton, who used to ruck for Subiaco and WA, and then Ken Armstrong, you might remember.
Yes, I do remember Ken. Yeah.
So he sort of took over in my last year at Subi, yeah.
Okay, and then Alan Jeans at Hawthorn when you first went over?
Yeah, Alan was the coach, and he had a year off when he had a brain aneurysm in 1988, and Alan Joyce took over for the year, and then Jeansy took back over in 89. So, that's the tale of the coaches, yeah.
Well, and Gary, you played at a pretty successful era. Not a bad time to get over to Hawthorn. You played in 4 flags and one losing one. Have you got a favourite that you picked out of those 4?
Oh, look, you'd probably have to say, for us as a group to win that back-to-back 88, 89 was sensational, and the first time the club had gone back-to-back, and we'd had plenty of opportunities before, and we sort of won one, lost one, lost one. We just never put 2 in a row. But it was a pretty incredible year. We played in 9 grand finals in 11 years, so it was, and ended up winning 5 of them, or 6 of them actually. So. It was a great era for the Hawks through the 80s, and great times.
Well, you had a pretty talented team. You were clearly a great player yourself, not to put you out of that category, but who was your best player that you played with through that era?
Oh, look at I played with Lee Lee Matthews for 3 years, from 82 through to 85 when he retired. He was sort of not playing as much in the midfield, and he was playing full forward. And, you got 5'10" player playing full forward, and he was kicking 70 goals, you can imagine what sort of a player he was and the influence that he had in the midfield. He was just, you sort of shook your head, but it was with what he could do, but it was quite nice to have Lee behind me.
Yep.
You know, I was on half forward flank, and one thing for sure is your opponent knew that Lee was behind him.
Oh, God.
So maybe that just got you a metre every now and then, because they might have just checked to see where Lee was. So a bit the same with Dermott and whatever. You know, those players sort of made opposition defenders a little bit wary.
Oh, yeah, throw Dipper in there as well. There's some tough buggers down there, Gary Ayres as well. And I'm fascinated. I mean, obviously, I was lucky enough to play at Carlton but didn't play with Bruce Doyle, but he's held in such a high regard. You guys had Michael Tuck. Unbelievable career, considering, you know, if you looked at him in the street, you wouldn't have thought he'd played well over 400 games and an absolute champion of the game.
Yeah. Look, he's a marvel, Tucky. You know, he hardly ever got injured. You know, he was, you know, he wore long sleeve jumpers all the time, I think, to hide his skinny arms. But, you know, he didn't really get into the gym too much. But he was just, he just had a huge engine. He could just run all day, and he was as tough as all get out and very durable. And, yeah, he had a wonderful career, and, you know, just, you know, highlight after highlight. He was a beauty. And, you know, talking about Bruce Doyle, he was a player that was very hard to play on, and he generally picked me up, you know, most of the times we played. And rather than dreading it, I used to look forward to it, because if I could actually even come out square with Bruce Doyle, I felt I'd done
pretty well.
Job.
Cool.
Such a player he was, you know. He was just, you thought you had him beaten, but somehow he got that big long arm through and punched the ball away. He was a marvel, you know, and he never played outside the rules, never grabbed your jumper, never did anything like that. He just beat you because he read the play just as good as the opponents forward, and you know, he was just great to play on. I learned so much from playing against him.
Number 11 for Hawthorn in that golden era, Gary Buckenara, our guest. You're famous for a lot of things, Gary, but one is the 1987 prelim. Hawks were down, Jim Steins does this, and then you do that.
Langford comes out with the ball, drives it down, Buckenara trip, Buckenara's free kick. Siren sounds. There's the siren, and he's got a kick from 55 metres out. I don't think they...
It's 15 metres! 15! What pressure on Gary Buckenara. He is a champion. He is a great kick. If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the grand final.
The umpires haven't heard it yet, I don't think.
If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the 1987 grand final. If he misses, Melbourne are in. There's the kick. It's a goal. It's a goal. Hawthorn have won with a kick after the siren. What a performance. A magnificent performance this by Hawthorn. Poor old Melbourne.
Oh, God, I can remember it like it was yesterday. Most of us do. I'm sure you do too, Gary. You kicked 5 that day. The game was on your boot to go into a grand final. You put it through. My question is, have you ever spoken to Jimmy Steins about it?
Yeah, we spoke to Jimmy, and he, you know, cracked a joke. He sort of said I had to get out of Australia because it was, you know, driving me mad. Everybody asking, you know, why'd you run across the bar? Don't you know the rules? So apparently he was in a bus somewhere in Europe, and some bloke said, "You're the bloke that ran across the mark in the grand final."
No.
So
God bless
him. Couldn't even escape to Europe and not get pinged. But yeah, look, we had a bit of a laugh about it. Poor old Jimmy back then. It was just one of those things, desperate to pick up a free play, ran across the mark. And, you know, I told Jim, you know, look, mate, don't worry about it. I would have kicked it anyhow. So
from 55.
That would have made him feel better, I'm sure, Gary.
Yeah, no, I'll never know that. But, you know, I tell Melbourne supporters, but, geez, they got long memories, Melbourne supporters, because I know when I meet one, because they call me everything under the sun.
Yeah. And you went from a playing straight into, or almost into a coaching career. You went to Sydney. That didn't quite work out as you panned out?
No, Well, I took the opportunity to become a VFL or AFL coach back then, and unfortunately didn't do enough homework. And, there was a private ownership group that owned the Swans back then, and they were sick of putting their hands in their pockets paying, so they only paid half the salary cap. So you were on the back foot from day one, and, you just didn't have money to do anything. So it was a really tough gig, and it wasn't really until the AFL stepped in and, players like Lockett and Ruse and all these guys went up there, and they became successful because the AFL realised how important having that team in Sydney was, and also in Brisbane. So now we've seen the development of those two states, and now with two sides in each.
And then you went back to WA and coached your old team, Subi. How did that pan out?
Oh, look, we made the grand final in the first year, and unfortunately got knocked off in the grand final by West Perth. And, we lost a lot of players who had retired, and decided to try and develop a list of through the under-19s and reserves players, which were very young. And, the board had different ideas and where we should have been. And those things happen. I probably realised that I probably wasn't suited to coaching. I just got a bit too frustrated with mistakes players made. Alan Jeans used to say to us, "Lord, let me live long enough to see some of you blokes go coaching." And now I know what he meant.
Oh, that's unreal. Hey, you were head of recruiting at Hawks for a number of years. You helped guide with it Alistair Clarkson's, I don't know, they were called left footers, the 08, 13, 14 and 15 era, a big part of that. With recruiting, how much of it is science and watching a lot of games, and how much of it is just gut feel to pick one player over the other, Gary?
Well, there's a bit of everything, but, I used to like going watching live, concentrate, get behind the goals, particularly if you're watching forwards and defenders, of where their starting points were and how well they read the play in front of you. So, I used to use my own eye a fair bit in terms of picking talent. The videos, which I think are probably overused today, but that's the way of the world, the edits and all that sort of thing. They can tell a bit of a lie. You can see the good and bad when you go there live, and you make your minds up of who you think, and use the videos as I did as just a bit of confirmation of what they can and can't do, and whether their body's still immature and will develop in a full-time environment, how well they kick, how well they mark, all those sort of things made up, of what I would use. And I guess, I did that role from 2004 through to 15.
Unreal.
I sort of look back on it. I had my first three picks, and they were Roughhead, Franklin and Lewis, so they wasn't a bad start.
Wow. Take that. And then Hodgie not long after that. Well, we never have time for this, Gary.
Hodgie was before.
Oh, he was too, yeah.
Yeah. Hodgie was before. He was a South Australian man himself, John Turnbull, who was the recruiting before me. So,
good work.
The team built nicely and probably won the 208 before I actually went to the grand final 208 hoping we wouldn't get thrashed by Geelong. We actually won it in a year. It was very exciting. And then obviously 13, 14, 15 was an amazing thing.
It was. Just before we let you go, we never have enough time for this, Gary, but my mob, the Crows, take on Hawthorn on Friday, a team of smart asses. How are we going to go? Well, they are, aren't they? They're a team of smart asses.
Smart asses on Friday. But, look, really, I'm optimistic about Hawthorn's chances. They seem to travel well. Their form against GWS, which is they've never won up there before, and they were really good with their pressure. And I think Collingwood had the blueprint for taking on Adelaide, really smothering them, and I just think maybe our leg speed can cause a few problems. But again, Adelaide, will be so determined, to win and not go out in straight sets. So. It'll be an interesting contest for sure, and looking forward to it.
Well done. Well, thanks for your time. As talented as any, as exciting as any, a 4-time premiership player. Gary Buckenara, our guest. Thanks, Gary.
Pleasure, fellas.
Great man. Well done. And imagine being part of that recruiting era with Alistair Clarkson, where they've left footers, didn't they?
Oh, but even... Yes, as a recruiter, outstanding. But
outstanding.
But that playing, you go through the list that he played with in there. That's an unbelievable list.
Hall of Famers.
Johnny Platten.
Dunstall. Oh, stop it.
What a time to be playing. It's SA's biggest cover-up. Walco's mesh pool cover keeps leaves and debris out of your pool all year round, and because it's super taut, it never sags. It looks great. Ask Walco about their mesh pool cover today. It's 10 minutes to 6. Let's check your roads.
G'day there. A real dog's breakfast tonight at O'Halloran Hill is due to a multi-car smash on the Southern Expressway just near the underpass at Majors Road. Massive delays. It's actually back to Tonsley and also affecting Aylers Road at Panorama. It's just foul. If you can, use South Road instead, or even better, avoid it altogether tonight if you can. Campbelltown a crash, lower North East Road near Gorge Road and slow for works at Flinders Park, Holbrooks Road near Grange Road. Cameras Anzac Highway, Glenelg East and Crittenden Road at Findon. Honda's HRV petrol is even easier to own with their latest finance offer, but hurry, limited time only, ends September 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Someone you know may be struggling with thoughts of suicide. A conversation could help them feel heard and supported. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone might be going through a tough time. The training is not counselling, it's not complex, it's about compassion and starting the chat. Being there matters most. This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection and hope. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and as part of a growing awareness about this important day, we have Esther Soul from the Black Dog Institute with us. And Esther, please tell us about the free online training and who it's designed for.
I'd love to tell you some more about this, Tim. So our Recognise and Respond training is developed by the Black Dog Institute. Simply put, it's for everybody. So the idea around the training is just kind of demystifies how to have those conversations with someone that you're worried about. So we're keen for everybody to get involved in the course.
Tell us why it's so important for everyday people to sort of recognise and respond to signs of suicide.
Well, I mean, we're all unfortunately touched in some way, aren't we?
Yes.
With suicide, unfortunately. And it's just really important for people to be able to check in, to feel like they have the confidence and they're not scared that they're going to say the wrong thing with people that they care about. You know, everybody's different, so you may see little signs here and there. It might be somebody withdrawing from their usual kind of social activities, not chatting for as long, maybe not picking up the phone like they used to. So there's usually things that we can look out for, and just using training like Recognise and Respond to have the confidence and the skills and not be worried about starting that conversation with a person to check in and see how they're travelling.
That courage to open the discussion, it's one of the biggest barriers, I reckon. I imagine that this training can make that first approach just feel that little more comfortable that you're prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's designed for, right? We know that people are unsure and they're worried that they're going to say the wrong thing. So this basically gives people a little bit of confidence. And it's not about then being able to solve all the problems and, you know, being able to fix everything for their friends, their loved one, for their family member. But it is about how to keep that person safe and how to get them the help that they need and in a way that they want that help. So putting the person at the centre of this conversation so that they can make decisions about themselves, but knowing that they've got somebody there who's ready to listen and help them stay safe.
What can people expect to learn in the hour?
Yeah, so what people can expect to learn during this hour, and it is really just an hour of time online, it's picking up on those behaviours, as we've already said, like there may be behaviours that can indicate a risk or an increased risk of suicide with someone. It's about how to engage in conversation with that person and hold that space with them, and how to do that in a safe and supportive way. And some of the topics that we cover off there, it's about recognising the signs. There's some case studies in there. So what we aim to do is have kind of a different story that might resonate with different people as they engage with the training, and some resources around self-care, and even a quiz at the end so that people can check in that they've got some information, some skills that they've taken away from the training.
Sounds brilliant. Esther, really appreciate your time. The Black Dog Institute doing great work, and I really do appreciate you having this chat with us today.
Thanks so much for having us, Tim.
If today's conversation has raised feelings for you, please know that support is always available. You can call Lifeline on 13 11 14 or visit startthechat.com.au and to access training and learn how to safely open up these conversations in your own life.
A moment ago, I shared that starting the chat can make a difference. Sometimes that difference begins with you. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone may be struggling and gives you the confidence to reach out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the first step. This World Suicide Prevention Day, let's stand together and show up for each other. Visit startthechat.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Campo sitting in for Timmy G here on this Wednesday night. It is 4 minutes to 6. Very soon, Nat Cook will join us as the World Volleyball Champs aren't too far away from hitting Adelaide. And Gemma Houghton from the Port Adelaide AFLW side ahead of their game on Saturday afternoon. But we've been giving you a chance to get in the running for these tickets.
Well, we have. It's a Who Am I? It's a current Crows player. That's all we'll say. The last clue is this. Be the first caller through and get it right. You're off to see the Crows take on Hawks Friday night. It'll be live on 5AA. It is do or die. It is win or nothing.
Or go home.
Or just go the hell home. Now, here's the last clue. I've kicked 4 goals in my 64-game career. Get to it.
Okay, 8223 0055. Call right now. If you've got enough clues and you reckon you know who it is, you will win those tickets. It's just some news going around at the moment, which is really interesting. Jordan Butsy is in the crosshairs in this off-season from the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne. They want to pick up a tall defender.
Well, they both would need a tall defender. The Crows love him. He's probably the fourth wheel, probably the second wheel if Nick Murray's available.
Well, he was in when Nick had his knee,
That's exactly
wasn't he?
right. And he wasn't picked at the start of the year. One-on-one outstanding, never puts a foot wrong, does never let the team down. I think the only knock has been he's not as creative as the others, but God,
yeah, but that's okay.
He
don't need
100%.
Well, Daniel Talia was an
100%.
All-Australian best and fairest winner.
Benny Rutten. Yeah, there's a couple. Jordan Butts, he'd be a big bloke, and he's the tallest too. He's 199. I could see why teams would be into him 100 miles an hour. I hope we don't lose him.
Well, it's him and Borlase really are the two that are
They're
left,
the last two.
Yeah.
He is contracted to the end of 2026, Jordan Butts, so the Crows can play heavy-handed if they like.
You can go and get it. Let's go to the Barossa, the beautiful Barossa. David, who am I?
Is it Max Mokwani?
Yes, it is.
Oh, fantastic.
Was that easy, Dave?
Oh, the Sydney clue gave it away, I think.
Yeah, I know it.
go.
Yeah. Campo sitting next to me. Oh, he did it. Oh, Rowey. We all knew that. Well, Dave, thanks for listening so long. You are off to watch the Crows and Hawks Friday night.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
No, well done. Sold out. You'll absolutely love that. And callers, every caller goes to where?
Yep, into the grand final package, flights, accommodation, and grand final tickets. Now, we have one more chance to win Crows tickets tomorrow, so it's your last chance to get these tickets to the Crows Hawthorn.
Let's go to the Sunshine Coast. Gazza!
How you going?
Yeah, good, buddy.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm an Adelaide guy.
Yep.
I've followed the Crows since they started.
Yep.
And they cannot win a game after they have a bye. I'm not putting it out there, but I've noticed they cannot win after a bye.
Okay.
So this week, they're going to win.
Like it. That'll do. No, Gaz, don't have to explain yourself.
To be fair, Gary, they won 9 straight after the bye this year.
Wow. Gary, I think when you ring up, you've got to be a little bit more factually correct from the Sunshine Coast. Maybe
Especially when Tugger's behind the mic.
Just thought,
he loves
Well, they did. After round 15, they won 9 straight.
Yeah, they did.
He's saying from the recent bye.
That's what he's saying.
Recent bye.
Let's see.
Everyone has a week off.
But there was a silver lining to what he's saying. He's saying where there was no bye, so they'll win.
Yeah, that's
what
good.
we do know about this group, coached by Nixie and led by Dawson, they can respond. And I have a lot of confidence in them learning and then responding, putting it out there. Let's hope they do. Roy O'Brien was.
Who's more the pressure on, Adelaide or Hawthorn?
Probably Adelaide. You don't want to go out in straight sets.
So is it a free hit for Hawthorn?
It's not a free hit. Because they played this corresponding game last year. Jack Ginnivan shot his gob off, and they ended up where they ended up. Port Adelaide bounced back and beat them after being in exactly the same position.
They want to go one better.
So they'd want to go one better. Look, a final's a final. It's on everyone.
No,
the win or lose.
Correct.
What do you think,
You're either
Campo?
chocolate or a ball
What do you
lolly.
think?
I think the pressure's on Adelaide, absolutely, with where they finished, unfortunately, and 2 home finals. That's the addition to it all. 2 home finals.
Yeah.
Hawthorn go Sydney, then they come to Adelaide.
Oh, God.
Apparently, Hawthorn will become the first team to beat the minor premier from 8th place.
Wow.
If they were to. So interesting. It's all part of it.
Not listening, not listening.
Time for the news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
This World Suicide Prevention Day. Take the first step towards connection. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Partly cloudy tonight, a shower or 2 tomorrow with a high of 16. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
As finals footy gets tougher, nothing's built tougher than TJM 4x4, Nailsworth, Ranella and now Mount Gambier.
A man's been arrested after a wild police chase through the northern suburbs. The 40-year-old from Port Wollonga is accused of ramming a police car at Paralowie and speeding off before the chase ended in a crash at Parafield Gardens. The man will face a raft of charges, including dangerous driving to evade police and acts to endanger life. He'll front court tomorrow. Dramatic images have been released from a video taken when police were shot dead at Porpunka. Isabel Quinlan is there.
It shows the lead up to that fatal shooting of 2 officers and the injuring of another. Now, these images is taken from a 27-minute video that was filmed by a member of accused gunman Desi Freeman's family, who was present when those 10 officers executed a warrant 2 weeks ago, and it has been obtained by the Daily Mail. Officers can be seen surrounding what appears to be the door of a bus where Desi Freeman and his family were living, and it's understood Freeman, his wife and their 2-year-old son had barricaded themselves inside. Freeman is reportedly calling officers psychopaths from behind closed curtains, accusing them of trespassing and committing many crimes.
Jacinta Nampijinpa Price has been dumped from Shadow Cabinet. It comes after she refused to be silenced on immigration issues and expressed confidence in Liberal leader Susan Lee. Ms Lee asked her to step down, a decision she's accepted. Israel has been roundly criticised after launching a strike in Qatar as a meeting with Hamas leaders was taking place. Michael Paggy reports.
Australia says Israel's decision to attack a building in the Qatari capital Doha is a step too far, arguing the Netanyahu government can't be targeting sovereign states. It's understood the strike happened while Qatari officials were in talks with Hamas terrorist leaders trying to negotiate some sort of end to the conflict in the Middle East. Foreign Minister Penny Wong says Israel's action is out of line.
This is about trying to broker a ceasefire and hostage deal.
The opposition's David Littleproud agrees.
Israel has to explain its actions here.
US President Donald Trump says he's not thrilled by what has happened, maintaining his administration was not given any warning by Israel ahead of the Qatar strike.
A vaccine to protect koalas from chlamydia has been approved by regulators in a world first. The single-dose jab, which has been found to reduce the mortality rate by 65%, has been 10 years in the making. Senior researcher Dr. Sam Phillips says it's a milestone moment.
All this work is helping to help the koalas survive for long into the future. They're a very important animal, not only iconically, but also for the Australian bush.
And Brisbane has been named the sporting capital of Australia for the third year in a row. More from Richard French.
An annual global consultancy ranks Brisbane as the 20th best city for sport worldwide and number one for Australia. It's not hard to see why. Brisbane hosted the first British and Irish Lions Test, an Australian PGA Championship, NRL's Magic Round, the Brisbane International and the Gabba Day Night Test is still to come, not to mention a full house for the Lions and Broncos almost every weekend. Sydney came in 27th on the list, Melbourne 32nd, while Paris pipped LA for the top spot.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Hawthorn is bracing for Jack Ginnivan to receive a hostile reception from Crows fans during Friday night's semi-final in Adelaide. He received a fine for giving them the middle finger earlier this year, and Hawks coach Sam Mitchell says they won't have forgotten.
I can't imagine he's going to be welcomed with open arms, is he? So we're not concerned about the off-field thing. I think what's great about Jack at the moment is everyone's talking about what he's doing on the field, and he's been in great form for us, and we'll try and protect him as best we can.
While Geelong star Bailey Smith is under fire for abusing a female photographer at training and giving her the middle finger, it comes after she took photos of him receiving physio treatment. AFL great Matthew Richardson says it's not a good look.
If you're getting treatment on the boundary line, then maybe you should go inside the rooms and get the treatment. All the news crews are going to be there. Every photographer is going to be there because it's a big prelim final coming up, and you're at a club that plays in prelim finals every year. You have to expect it. So, yeah, I don't think he'd be that happy with that tonight.
Fremantle midfielder Will Brodie wants to call Alberton home next season, requesting a trade to the Power. The 27-year-old has played 54 AFL games across his time at the Suns and Freo. Port's confirmed it'll work with Fremantle to facilitate a trade for the contracted Brodie when the AFL's trade period opens next month. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
We have a very large schmozzle at O'Halloran Hill. It's due to a multi-car smash on the Southern Expressway underpass near Majors Road. Massive delays back to Tonslin affecting ALF's Road. It's just awful. Avoid at all costs tonight. Another collision at Semaphore Road near the Esplanade and a Camera Port Road, Cheltenham. Help IGA support the McGrath Foundation by purchasing specially marked products to fund cancer care nurses so that no one goes through cancer without care. T's and C's apply. End September 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight and a shower or two tomorrow, a high of 16. Partly cloudy Friday, also 16. Mostly sunny and 19 for Saturday, and partly cloudy Sunday, 22. At the moment, 13. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
In your suburb.
Good evening from Port Noarlunga.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Thanks for joining us at 8 minutes after 6. Driving with Dixon coming up at 6:30 this evening. We were just talking before the break. Who's the pressure on more for this Crows and Hawks game? It's a good question Campo posed. Well, Ben Jordan, who's always a fantastic addition to any of our 5AA programs, he brings in a great stat. Some positivity for Friday night, fellas. First has played 8th 9 times in the finals since the Final 8 started in 1994. The record is 9-0 to the top team, so 8th has never won.
And so it should be.
And the margin for the first team is 39 points. That's including the showdown final. So that's a fair margin. They tend to win by a lot most times.
Yeah. Well, I'll back that in.
39
That'll
points.
be me.
Win by 39.
I'd rather just win by 1, 2, 8, 5.
Looking on the
I just want a W.
Yeah. Looking on the betting apps, it's the line's 1.5 points.
Oh, wow.
It's super close.
Yeah, and it is. It feels like it is. If you look at their form coming in, ours, it's going to be close. And it's here, it's at home, so we'll see how we go. Hey, this is going to be exciting too come November. Nat Cook is our 2000 Olympic gold medalist. She's also the ambassador for the Beach Volleyball World Championships. The best in the world are coming to our shores. Nat, welcome and thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's good to talk footy a lot, but when beach volleyball gets a chance, we will take it, fellas. It is very exciting that we're coming to Adelaide, the best in the world, even bigger than the Sydney Olympics, coming to the Drive at Adelaide.
Yeah, I saw that. November 14 to 23, the best in the world, 192 women and men. Now, there's a championship opening with the green and the gold super session. Talk us about that.
Well, we're just firing everyone up to come out and support the Aussies. The Aussies will start strong in the tournament. And like if you watch the AO at tennis and you notice they, drop off, you get lots to start. And we're hoping they don't, but we're just charging everyone up the front end of the tournament to make sure they see I think we've got about 8 Aussie teams, men across the men and the women. So the first 4 days are obviously the best to see them while they're all in the pool play, because we never know, as with elite live sport, you never know who's going to make it out of the pool. So get along early to Green and Gold Day and make sure you support all the Aussies in the draw.
Now, Nat, the other one is, those that don't know that it's coming to town, well, it most certainly is, and it's going to be a great world-class event. Where's it going to be? It's going to be Pinky Flat, the tennis centre. Just paint us a picture of how it's going to look.
Well, most people say to me, is it down at Glenelg? Is it at the beach? And actually, the stadium requirements for a World Championships, the grandstands and the seats need to be bigger than just having what you might have seen as a local down at Glenelg for a Volleyball South Australia or a national event. This is absolutely, you talked about 192 athletes. So they need, I don't know how many the Drive seat. Do you know? Is it like 8,000 or something?
Oh, got to be close to that, Nat. Look, they've had some tennis events there and it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, and that's what we're trying to capture. We don't want to have to build that infrastructure. One of the challenges for beach volleyball is when it's on the beach, you've got to build, construct, take down. There's a lot of money wasted on the construction. So with the fact that we're bringing it into the city right there, where people can be in the stadium that you watch tennis in, and the outside courts will be peppered around the venue. It will be a festival atmosphere. So not that we're comedians, but imagine the Fringe coming into the Drive, match that with beach volleyball, and you've got this amazing festival for the public, for families, for corporates. It'll be sensational.
Now, Nat, it's one of those ones, I guess it's 12 months on from the Paris Olympics. Most of the competitors from there roll into this tournament?
Usually after an Olympics you see some retirements, but I haven't heard of too many, actually. I think you'll see most of the athletes that won, the Brazilians for the women, the Swedish men, would you believe? The Swedish men, the number one team in the world right now, and then followed closely by Norway. So the Scandinavian men have really changed the game. You'll see a lot of Brazilians, American women, Europeans are pretty good too. But our very own Taliqua Clancy is playing with a local Adelaide girl, Yana, and I won't say her last name because I can't pronounce it. So Yana and Taliqua, watch out for them in the girls' draw. You've got Isaac Carraher and Mark Nicolaides who are training there in Adelaide with the South Australian Institute of Sport. They'll be ones to watch too. So it's pretty exciting, and you'll see the most dynamic beach volleyball in the world right there at the Drive.
And as we just said, the Olympics was 2025. How much of this tournament is a preparation and somewhat of a selection process to get into the next Olympics?
It's the next biggest event outside of the Games, and ultimately some say it's actually harder because there's no cap on the number of teams per country. So when you play in an Olympics, it is a smaller field. There's 48 men's teams, 48 women's teams here. The Olympics is 32. So you will see a bigger draw of Brazil, a bigger draw of America. So it isn't counting for 2028 yet. That doesn't start until the 2027 season. But it gets a lot of points out of the World Championships, a lot of money. A lot of these athletes live from their prize money, and the World Championships is absolutely our biggest event.
Well, the countdown's on to the 14th to the 23rd. Tickets go on sale at Ticketek. Nat, as always, thanks for your time.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
See you there.
See you, Nat Cook, Olympic gold medalist. I remember that gold medal.
Yeah.
With our
Iconic
very own
Kerry
Potters. Yeah, it was iconic. Bloody was.
Well,
it's a great sport.
It probably put that sport on the map in Australia, didn't it?
100%.
Because most of it, everyone thought it was indoor, and beach volleyball wasn't necessarily huge in here, but we live down the western suburbs, right? You've been down there for most of your life. Like that down at Glenelg there, they're always down there. You go for a walk along the beach, there's half a dozen courts, always full with that going on.
Imagine sitting in the stands under the it won't be hot because you've got the roof of the tennis centre, which is outstanding. Corporate facilities, having an Aperol Spritz double strength with no soda water in it.
No algae blowing up from the ocean.
Don't mention the algae. Nat Cook, our guest. Get your tickets at Ticketek. It'll be here before you know it, November 14 to 23. Let's go to Golden Grove. Hello, Johnny.
How you going, boys? All right?
Good, mate.
Now, last week really worried me, and it doesn't surprise me that we lost because, I know the players don't get involved with the media, but there was a lot of, we're going to redeem ourselves from 2017, and we're talking about grand finals. We hadn't won a final for 8 years, did we?
Yeah, that's true.
And we just got too far ahead of ourselves, and it looked like a side that had played 230 finals games combined against a side that had only played 32 finals games last week. Yeah. Their pressure was enormous. We crumbled under the pressure. We went there. We didn't play like we were playing for our lives. They looked like a side that had been in the pressure of the finals, and they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But we'll bounce back this week because we learnt from that, and we have during the year. Every time we've lost, I think we've bounced back, and I don't see no reason why we can't this week. Yeah. I'm more confident this week than what I was last week.
Yeah, no, Johnny, you're right. We had Riley O'Brien on. We haven't been able to dissect some of his comments, but the players got it wrong because they didn't. I'm not going to say they didn't turn up. They didn't collectively play their role for 120 minutes, absorb the pressure, but the coaches got it wrong with their game style. They're hacking it forward, bombing it forward, getting field position. We heard Riley O'Brien basically say that. So the coaches learnt, the players learnt. Well, that's good. Now let's see it. Would you agree?
100%.
Let's just bloody see it.
Riley O'Brien did speak to us early. Here he is.
I think our endeavour was there last week. We just didn't handle the pressure in terms of our ball use.
Yep.
And probably the way we set up, we didn't win us the game. And we know our best is a couple of adjustments away, and we're looking forward to bringing that this week, mate.
So tune in to our call from 7 o'clock live with Campo in the box with Rennie, because if they don't set it up right, if they hack it forward, if they don't have composure, he will spew up. He's as composed as anyone we've had, Campo, but you will dead set spew up if the coaches get it wrong.
Well, I did a little bit last week.
Well, no, you did. In fairness, you did.
Yeah.
Vomit in your mouth.
I wanted him to win. And when you can see
Don't hold back, Campo. Take a leaf from my book. Let it out.
Okay.
As Riley O'Brien said, no good being an O, be a 10. If you're going to go, be a 10. Okay. Hello, Dave.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Good, Dave.
I'm just going to throw something out there that's a bit of a comical thing, but I've just noticed this morning, reading the paper, or might have been on the internet, a chap called Teddy Swims is going to be the singer for the NRL Grand Final this year.
Who?
Teddy Swims, his name is.
Swims?
Teddy Swims, Rowey. Teddy Swims.
I've never heard of him.
Well, yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, he's a main act for the NRL.
Is he a rap artist?
Final.
Is he a rap artist?
Sorry?
He's an American singer.
He's an American artist,
yeah.
rhythm and blues, soul singer, and he's very, very good. Because me and my wife are into music big time, and my wife knows where he come from, and he's already covered his albums. But anyway, what I'm getting at, which is quite funny, I just had to explain to my wife this morning that the artist that we got the couple of albums I call Teddy Swims. He's playing from the NRL final, down the track. And she said, "Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic because he's a great voice, great singer." And I said, "Do you know who?" I said to my wife, "Do you know who's singing for the AFL Grand Final?" And she said, "I've got no idea, love." And I said, "Well, it's a guy called Snoop Dogg." And she knows Snoop Dogg. She said, "What idiot gave him the job?"
That's all I'm
saying, boys.
There you go. And I think most people have said that. What idiot. But apparently he represents and reflects the
culturally relevant to the AFL.
Culturally relevant to the AFL. And he's a philanthropist. He's a grandfather. He uses the F word and he smokes a bit of hooch coochie, but he's still right in our zone. He's in our genre. He's in our sweet spot. The old Snoopy-Doo, eh? The old Snoopy-Doo. Hello, Ken.
You got me fired up now talking about that bloody Snoop Dogg.
Come on, Kenny.
I only wanted to say about the game on Friday night. I'm hoping we win because I did ring you guys earlier in the year, earlier on. At the beginning of the year, I had a rush of blood, and I've never bet on the football, but I backed the Crows to make the 8. I backed them to make the 4. And I backed them to make the grand final, and I backed them to win it. But I didn't find anywhere where I could back them to be minor premiers. But anyway, obviously for that reason, I'm hoping we can win. But I think we can win because I don't think Riley, O'Brien, Thilthorpe, Tex, Dawson and the others, they've all had a real bad week of criticism. They'll lift. Of
course they will.
And they won't play a game like that. I just don't know where we were last week, the whole team really, but I reckon they'll lift, and I think we'll win.
Well, I hope you're right, Ken. You're in the running for that grand final package, mate.
And just a good payout if they get through, by the sounds of it.
Yes.
He's ticked a lot of boxes.
He has.
All right, let's get to a break because Gemma Houghton is waiting from the Port Adelaide AFLW side. They play Melbourne on Saturday.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy invite some of their pals from the world of sport onto the show for a chat. Thanks to Pals, Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Someone you know may be struggling with thoughts of suicide. A conversation could help them feel heard and supported. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone might be going through a tough time. The training is not counselling, it's not complex, it's about compassion and starting the chat. Being there matters most. This World Suicide Prevention Day, take the first step towards connection and hope. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Hello, it's Timmy Ginniver here. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. And it's something that I feel very strongly about. After a close friend's suicide, a group of us got together and we started our own conversation. And we said, we've got to stop it. We've got to stop it now. We engaged with people who knew and experienced life experience in this field of mental health and suicide. And they gave us some tools to help us with that first conversation. I am very pleased to say that I got phone calls on 2 occasions, one from a person who was struggling direct and one through another colleague who said, I think you better check in on this person. Both of those we were able to direct to professional help and they are both doing well here today. So it's a really pleasing story. I just want to say this, check in on your mates and your family and encourage others to alert you too. If someone is struggling and if you're the one struggling, please speak up. You're not alone and a simple conversation can truly make a difference. Visit startthechat.com.au.
A moment ago, I shared that starting the chat can make a difference. Sometimes that difference begins with you. Start the chat. Make a difference by taking a free 1-hour online training that helps you recognise when someone may be struggling and gives you the confidence to reach out. You don't need all the answers. You just need to take the first step. This World Suicide Prevention Day, let's stand together and show up for each other. Visit startthechat.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. 23 minutes after 6, driving with Dixon coming up at 6:30, and visit Stillwell Hyundai Ingle Farm. Take a test drive today. Find your perfect Hyundai car at Bridge Road, Ingle Farm. We are streaming live as we speak on the Stillwell Hyundai live stream on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, Port have won 1, lost 3. They their AFLW season. They have this week, well, this Saturday, undefeated Melbourne at home. It's Port Adelaide's key forward, Gemma Houghton, who joins us. Gemma, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
How have you seen the start to the year for the girls?
Yeah, well, very fast. I can't believe we're already into round 5. But, yeah, look, it's not the ideal start we'd want to have. we've left a few games out there this season, but I think each game we've improved and gotten better. So, yeah, we just keep chipping away each week.
Yeah. You're hitting the scoreboard, there's no doubt about that. I think you had your biggest score the other week, 23 goals in the last 2 weeks. Doing okay against Eagles, then that last quarter you faded out.
Yeah, definitely on the scoreboard, but I think, just in that last quarter, West Coast were able to get up and just hold on. I think there might have been 5 minutes to go. So, yeah, we've reviewed the game, and very, very disappointing, I guess, when you coming out of games that you definitely had more control of in certain areas. But, not ideal to start the way.
Yeah, and Gemma, one of those areas was around the contest. That second half, in particular the last quarter, I think it was -17 around the contest. Lauren was clearly a little bit upset with her review of the game.
I think it was just, I guess, around the contest as well. West Coast were able to work a lot harder contest to contest for the 4 quarters, and obviously that ended up in them winning the game. So I think that's been one of our key focuses out of this review, and we've reviewed the game as well, and I think that was a highlight, is to just work harder than the opposition for 4 quarters.
And you had a couple of injuries out of the game as well. No bigger one than Matilda Scholes in that centre bounce with that finger. How's she going?
Yeah, she's an absolute fighter though. I mean, she did it, I think, very early on in the first quarter, and she was back out there as well. But no doubt that would have, when you just kind of think. But yeah, just having her available in the next, sort of week or so is huge for us, and something that we've been looking forward to. Just her training and the way that she's taken on her rehab, she definitely deserves her chance when it comes.
My word, and a couple of positives. Ash Woodland in the midfield's doing very well.
Yeah, Ash is huge. She's obviously a utility player who can play in the mid, or she can go down forward and kick a few goals. So, and she showed that as well on the weekend, kicking her first goal as well for the season. So Ash and her leadership and her experience as well is something we definitely lean on to, being a young side in those challenging moments.
Well, it's home. It's Saturday. It's against Melbourne. They're undefeated. What a great challenge. We'll be calling it live on 5AA. Young Gemma, keep crashing those packs and sitting on people's heads.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Well done. She's a ripper. Gemma Houghton there. They'll get, mate, what a challenge. Yep. Undefeated. Yep. I think there's 3 teams undefeated.
3 others, so 4 in the comp. North Melbourne have been the standard. They had a percentage just under 500%. It's extraordinary. God. And just in the AFLW space as well, Chelsea Randall today for Crows fans signed
2 years.
2-year extension.
How good.
So that's extraordinary.
Bloody Brisbane got him again last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
bit of
how
a
was that decision in the... That cost us that goal, that holding the man.
Oh, I missed it. I was at the sample.
Oh, what a crap decision. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Gemma, thank you. Great work. Let's go to One Tree Hill. Fancy me potting umpires. Hello, Ian. Doesn't matter what level.
G'day, guys.
How are you?
G'day, guys. 2 things. Thank you. 2 things. Crows are going to win Friday night. I can feel it. I knew they weren't going to win last weekend, but they're going to win Friday night. And the reason I rang is I'm not sure you guys are aware that MotoGP, Marc Marquez in the next week or so is going to equal Valentino Rossi's 9-time world champion.
Wow.
So
that's unreal.
He is 8 races in front of anybody else.
Goodness
200
me.
points in front of anybody else.
Who'd have ever thought that would happen?
Has that snuck up?
It's amazing after he wrecked his arm and took 3 or 4 years to come back and 4 operations.
Wow.
And the guy's an absolute legend. And, it's only a matter of time now. It's only next week or a week after he will win the championship, and he'll still have 7 or 6 races to go before the season's over. And he's already going to put it away, and they're going to be equal. And Rossi's not a happy camper. Apparently, he doesn't want to be equal with Marc Marquez. And then next year, Marc will probably win again, and he'll exceed Rossi's championship.
What nationality is he, Ian?
He is Spanish.
They're all
Rossi
Spanish. They're good, aren't they? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, the Spanish have got a really good system over there in the motorbikes. They are amazing when it comes to motorbikes.
Ian, you're in the running for those grand final tickets.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. The MotoGP. Who'd have ever thought that he'd get beaten?
Do you reckon Oscar Piastri would not like to be 7 races in front at this point of the night?
Nice. I agree.
That won't happen. Not with Lando.
He had a touch of the Nostradamuses there, didn't he?
Who?
Well, he predicted he knew that Crow's going to lose. Now Crow's going to win. Hey, hello, Adrian.
There you go, Rowey.
You're on.
On the red legs, mate.
Whoa, yes.
Let's knock Sturt out like we did in 19. Let's win the premiership from 5th spot like we did in 84 and let Sturt run home with tails between them.
Oh, wouldn't that be just glorious?
Anyway, I'm worried sick, mate.
Why?
Well, Collingwood came here the other, and Collingwood don't care where they go. They just don't care. They don't fear anyone.
No.
But what I'm worried about tomorrow night is it Ginnivan or Ginnivan?
Ginnivan.
I reckon his role will be to get into many as Crow's faces as possible, put them off our game, and if we lose tomorrow night, can you tell me what the fallout would be?
Well, we're not going to lose tomorrow night, Adrian.
No, I'm just saying.
It's Friday night. But back in our day, if you had a smart ass like Ginnivan shooting his gob off like that, someone would just knock him out. See, and that's the problem. Our game allows smart asses to shoot their gob off and do goal celebrations and woohoo, look at me and make big comments in social media. The best way to beat him is just beat him.
And they will. And I think Max will get the job. And
I hope you're right.
There's probably 2 players, though, that would like to maybe bump him on the nose that we've got history. Mark Keane's got the potential to do it. He's lucky to be playing this week after that, to be honest. He's used all his 9 lives.
Well, if he throws his elbow out, connect.
You won't have they won't lose. And maybe Mitch Hinge, he's shown a little bit of that he can get a little bit frustrated, like he doesn't mind standing his ground. So you don't want to go high. Well, I always used to say to the players, stand your ground, fight your battles, don't go high. Because the umpires are looking for it. So you can grab them and do whatever you want.
Well, who's indispensable? So if Keane went out, Butts is in.
Jeez.
If Hinge went out, B. Smith can come back.
Yeah.
I reckon.
So you reckon set one for him?
Do an old Neil Baum, just circle Ginnivan's name and just set one for him. Have a listen to this. This is Brad Scott, who's the coach of Essendon on merit, who's his captain, meeting with Hawthorn. Have a listen.
He's contracted captain. So our club's position is that we will not be trading him under any circumstances.
That's just now on AFL 360.
That's firm.
Pretty strong.
And nor he should be. He's the captain. Captains don't leave footy clubs.
It's the way of the world now, isn't it? Changing. Oscar Allen first.
I know.
Now him.
I know.
It's a tough environment, isn't it? Like for him.
Well, he's thinking self. He wants success, and rightly so.
Yeah. And he's been a wonderful contributor. 5 BNFs, probably going to equal James Hurd's record this year, possibly.
Goodness me.
And you sit there and you go, he wants. And he's not a selfish player. You go and watch him live. I watched him live a couple of times this year. His work rate
gives his all.
Unbelievable. And he did the team thing. Remember, he went to half-back because they wanted to change the way their midfield was. I don't think there's any that. I think he's just starved as success, and that's, and rightly or wrongly, it's the world we live in now.
Yep, sadly. Well done, Campo. Good debut.
We are back tomorrow. Campo is also back tomorrow. It's time for Driving with Dixon here on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
One of the saddest and, I'd say, frankly, silliest aspects of the ongoing algal bloom crisis,
David Penberthy and Will Goodings,
is how many world-class, iconic South Australian seafood brands are being caught up in some of the paranoia and some of the baseless hysteria.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Tracy Hill and her husband Glenn run Coorong Wild Seafood.
5AA.